Hey, welcome back to another episode of Instant Raw Podcast. I'm your host, Juan. As always, my co-host here with me. Hey, Trip.
Hey.
Hey, man. I don't want to, beat around the bush, but we got a big episode today.
We do. We're covering 2 days of Anime Expo. We couldn't cover one yesterday because, well, we were sleepy. God's plan. So we're going to pick it up today.
Yeah, let's just get right into it.
Write them down. What did you do yesterday at Anime Expo? What do you have to tell us to learn about today, Juan?
So for day 2, I had planned to go to an earlier panel, but I ended up not making it. So I went, yeah, it happens. So I went to the...
What were you going to go to?
I was going to go to the thing that you went to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's okay. You just kind of, readjust and go to something else. So I ended up going to the exhibition hall and checking out those 2 video games I'm super stoked for. Was it My Hero Academia One Justice?
One's Justice, yeah.
And then the Jump Force video game that was announced at E3 really recently by, I think, Namco or whatever.
Bandai Namco.
Yeah, they do. I think they're doing both the games, which is pretty cool. So they're right next to each other. So it feels kind of weird being somebody who doesn't really play video games to review a video game. Like I wish you would have gone and tried them because you could have explained things way better.
Well, you were the one that wanted to do it instead of me.
I mean, I really wanted to play them, and you weren't there. So
yeah, that's true.
So Sierra and I lined up for both of them, and for the My Hero game, we were able to play against each other, and for the Jump Force game, it was actually like just a solo player against a computer. Okay, so here's what I have to say about my quick, simple video game review from someone who doesn't play video games all that much.
Okay.
So the My Hero game was fun. It looked really interesting. Like visually, it was cool. Like the artwork was nice, right? Something that I feel like I didn't like was the camera, the way it moved.
Okay.
Sometimes it get really, really low to the point where like you were just like it was like angled at a really weird, just from the bottom up.
Right. Okay.
Jumping felt really weird in the game. When you like jump in Super Smash Bros, like you jump and you can just kind of hit a button and like you'll hit something. Like you got to be. I feel like because it's 3D, 2D kind of feel to it. It was like you would jump and you would just kind of jump like a doofus, and it felt really dumb. And I feel like I didn't take advantage of like making any combos, like any big chained attacks or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
And it was fun, but I feel like it's one of those games where it's not like a party fighting game that I'm really used to, like a game that anybody can pick up and just have fun.
No, this looks like a lot more like Naruto.
Yeah, it looks like a game where like the more you practice, the better you get. And if you ever like go to someone's house that has that game and you're like, oh, you want to play it for a second? You just gonna get your ass whooped because they obviously play it like nonstop. Sierra and I went. I think we went like we tied. So I beat her at the end. So it was like 1-1, and then I took the last game. It was cool though. I played as Deku. She played as Bakugo, and then you're allowed to have side characters as like sidekicks. You could have 2.
So it's like exactly like Naruto.
Yeah. And the sidekicks are essentially like assist people. Like you just hit a button and they come out and help you out. And there's like what's the word?
So it's like poking.
Kind of, yeah. There's like a meter that comes up, and once the meter gets full, you hit the button, and you can just like they come up and if they're in the right spot, they'll do their thing. But sometimes like they get fucked up and get hit by the other player. All in all,
that sounds a lot like Pokken.
All in all, it was a fun game. I enjoyed it. I don't know how down I am to play it in the future. Just because, like I said, it looks like one of those games where it might be too complicated for me as someone who's not a seasoned fighting game kind of person.
I'm gonna fuck with that. I'm gonna play some Jiro, my new best girl.
Yeah. So I think when you get it, it'd be cool to play. But I don't know if I was super hyped about like I'm gonna buy an Xbox. I'm gonna buy this game.
Oh shit!
Now I'm just like I might just play it whenever I go over to Trip's house.
Yeah. Now you're like I'm gonna buy an Xbox. I'm gonna buy Kingdom Hearts 3.
And so now for Jump Force. My favorite thing about it was the way it fucking looked. It was really, really pretty. Like the video that they show for like what's it called? Like it's like a promotional video. It's not actual gameplay. What's that called? Like
demo reel,
the theatrical stuff or whatever.
Okay. Oh yeah. The
like,
cutscenes.
Yeah, the cutscenes. They're just as pretty. Like the gameplay is just as pretty as that. Like it's crazy.
Nice.
It blew my mind because more often than not, you see a theatrical thing, and then you see the gameplay and it's like not as pretty. It was fucking gorgeous. Everything looked super glossy. Everything looked great. They had Sasuke. That was a playable character. Frieza, Naruto, Luffy, Zoro from fucking One Piece. And then there's Goku, obviously. That one.
We need more jumps in there.
I mean, I think it was just because of demo.
I know.
For that one, we
still need more.
It was also fun. Something that didn't feel right about it was there would like if you use like a special move or something, like a jump, like it felt like a quick scene would play out. Like your animation would come out full throttle and just kind of turn the flow of the game off for me personally. And I think the game was set on like a super easy setting, so I felt like I was just kind of bashing this guy, and he didn't really try.
Oh yeah,
but it still looks really fucking good. The only complaint I think Sierra had about it was that she didn't like Naruto's face because it had like his whiskers looked like scars.
Oh,
and I thought it was interesting because I feel like maybe they did that because they have they have a bunch of different characters from a bunch of like different array of mangas and animes and stuff. Yeah, and they had to try to make them look similarly, like in a similar style, essentially.
Yeah.
So they went with the scar look, and I think it was fine. I really like the way Sasuke looked, in my opinion, and Luffy was pretty cool too.
Cool.
Yeah. So again, really cool game.
But how's it play? Like, what's the deal?
I mean, what do you like? Ask.
Can you compare it to anything else, or?
It reminds me of. Did you ever play? What's it called? Those Dragon Ball Z Budokai games or whatever.
Like GameCube?
Yeah.
Where
you can kind of like, it's like 3D and you can jump and float around everything. It reminded me of that, and also reminded me of like those games where like the environment just gets fucking destroyed, like Injustice or whatever, or like where it's there's just things all over the time that you just fucking blasted out. This one had a better camera, in my opinion. I felt like it stayed over your shoulder pretty well. I would have liked to see people playing against each other. That way I could have seen how they split it up in split screen, because if it was a split screen setup or if it was like just one screen,
I feel like they couldn't do split screen for it.
I don't know how I would have done it, but I honestly, I think that's one issue I also had with the My Hero game, when it was just like, because of the way the camera moved, it felt really weird running around and fighting it just in one, and it
was in like a 3D plane and stuff. And interesting. I mean, I'm going to have to check them out myself. I'm still pretty interested. What you said makes me more curious than deterred, because the gameplay that I've seen hasn't had anything like jarring.
No, it's not. I mean, I guess this is just maybe like being nitpicked as someone who doesn't know anything about video games, essentially. That being said, I think I will wait on like buying an Xbox just to play this. Or I'll just play it off your house or whatever.
For sure.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And the lines are super sweet, and we got a cool sticker, so that was fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Okay, what did you do right after while I was doing that?
Well, while you were doing that fun shit, I was over at Funimation, and they had a fucking boatload of announcements. They're doing a lot of stuff, going over simuldubs, going over a bunch of releases for DVDs, Blu-rays, stuff like that. Also, shout outs to Duncan at Funimation. He's my friend. We were able to meet up today. We wanted to meet up earlier, but finally was able to meet up with him. Said, hey, what's up? He hooked us up with some dope swag, and Funimation's got a lot of cool shit. Actually, I'm excited about some of these announcements. So anyways, this year at Anime Expo, tonight we're not going there because we're a bunch of fucking losers, not party animals at all. We just fucking do nothing. They have a Cowboy Bebop party going on with all the original voice actors. So that's pretty cool.
That would have been pretty cool. But you're not the biggest fan of Cowboy Bebop, are you?
You know what? I don't. I wish that it wasn't a slice of life, because I like so many fucking parts of it.
Yeah.
But I hate that none of it matters because it's just a fucking slice of life.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, it's fine. I like it. But again, I also don't like it enough to go to a party that I wasn't personally invited to.
I think it'd be cool. I mean, it's for everyone.
I wasn't personally invited to it. Anime Expo didn't invite me personally, so I wasn't going to go.
I'm pretty sure it was on your schedule.
Didn't invite me to go, so I'm not going to go.
All right, whatever. They have like themed drinks and stuff, and it just seems like it's a cool time.
You bet one of them's called the Space Cowboy?
I'm sure one of them is.
Nice. I bet it tastes
There's
good.
like no way one would be.
Bet it's whiskey.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll never know now.
I guess not. Sucks to suck.
You should ask Duncan.
So anyways, let's get into it. Going off of Cowboy Bebop, they have a Blu-ray box set that's available until July 13th. So you should go on to Funimation and check that out. This is just a brand new special limited time thing. It's got a bunch of cool stuff in there. So I would check that out. If you are a big fan of Cowboy Bebop, it would be such a cool thing to have. And then this summer, there's simuldubs. They're doing a lot of stuff. Some stuff that we're already aware of, but other stuff that is new. So they're doing simuldubs. For those of you that don't know, Funimation always likes to explain this shit.
Oh yeah, what a simuldub is?
Yeah,
do it again. Ask if I know what a simuldub is.
Does anyone here know what a simuldub is?
No, I know what a regular dub is, and I know what subtitles are, but I don't know what is simuldub.
So a simuldub is an episode of a TV show that's currently airing in Japan is dubbed and airs at the same time.
What?
In
How
the
do they
United
do that?
States. They have to work on it at the same time that it's being worked on in Japan. So they're getting better and better at doing this. Sometimes episodes come out about 2 weeks or so after they air in Japan, but you can actually catch some shows that air the same week.
That's crazy. They should trademark that.
I think that they have.
They do. I love the fact that
I know, right?
On their Funimation website, it's super cool. You go to like they have like their options of what's like on their shit, and then it says simuldub and then TM.
Fuck yeah, we're gonna TM that. So check it out. This summer, their simuldubs are gonna be My Hero, which we already know because it's airing. Yeah,
it's so
Attack
good.
on Titan.
Nice.
Black Clover, which also we already know it's airing. Steins Gate Zero, which
Continues to be simuldub. Yeah.
Overlord season 3.
Yeah, which I'm not surprised because they did that with season 2, and it's a pretty popular show. So cool.
Hell yeah. How Not to Summon a Demon Lord.
Cool. I don't know what that is.
I'm pretty excited about that. It looks like some weird ass comedy shit, and I'm down to check it out. I'm stoked. Honestly, I'm really fucking. I don't know if it's just the vibes in the air from Anime Expo or what, but I'm fucking hyped on anime.
Yeah, me too.
I'm so goddamn hyped. I'm gonna go back to the real ass world. It's gonna be a bunch of bullshit.
You're not even gonna know how to do your job right.
Probably. I'm gonna get fired. Angels of Death, and I think we've talked about this one a little bit. I'm really excited about this show personally. It's about a girl that is in the basement of some just like giant ass building.
Oh, and there's some assassin some psychopath that's like hunting her down, right, or whatever.
Yeah, he's a serial killer.
Yeah.
They're stuck in the same building, and they have to like work together to get out.
Yeah, no, I saw. I remember seeing the video for that. We did talk about that. That looks interesting, and it's being dubbed. Cool, good for them.
Yeah, super cool. Haruhana Receive,
which is
volleyball.
Oh, I saw a visual for that, like a trailer. Looks really good, but it's super sexy for all them super sexy boys out there. So be careful.
All right, and this is the point where they were just fucking flying past all the announcements of what they were simuldubbing.
Let's do it.
So there were some things which I think I probably fucking have wrong, but whatever. And Kyle is in the background here. I mean, he might be able to help me out, but I really doubt it. Good School Toad. Is that a correct name?
We got a blink from him. That's the nod. We're good to go. Oh,
Good School Toad.
Stank face.
There was an anime about a toad. Do you remember that? Fucking
As he sips his beer, he
doesn't
says
know
no.
shit. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe it's that. The Master of Dragon. That's going to be a simuldub. You remember that one, Kyle? Okay, yeah, that one is a thing. Cool. Island, which is easy, and he specifically said, "Oh man, I'm getting the easy ones after the chick." Said a bunch of fucked up shit. Hanebado, which is the badminton show that we checked out.
Yeah.
DSURA, which is still airing, or it's like season 2. I don't know.
Which one's that?
Kyle, what's DSURA? DSURA, I'm pretty sure was the one that the kid that was afraid of knives because a long time ago he had a dream that his best
did you watch
friend
that?
had
Sierra watched that.
her head fell off.
Yeah.
And it ended with a German religious cult thing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Sierra
We're
watched
getting
that.
confirmation from Sierra in the background as well.
I
All
didn't
of
like
that
that
was
show.
Kyle and Sierra. We had no part of that.
They're kind of, yeah, I don't want to ruin this, but you're going to have a special guest later today. And guess who it is? It's Kyle and Sierra.
Holy shit. Actually, it might just be season 1. At this point, they're just fucking popping off because it was season 2? Okay, then they're also simul-dubbing. This is the part where it got messy. Magical Girl Raising Project.
Fuck yeah.
Pretty cool. I'm excited for people to be able to check this out that don't normally watch things subtitled because it's a fucking great show, great book, love it. One Piece, of course, they're continuing with One
Obviously.
Piece, and Free Dive into the Future.
Yeah, fuck that show. Let's keep going.
All right, cool. Those of you that watch TV, like real ass TV, might watch anime on the TV. Well, check it out. Dragon Ball Super airs every weeknight on Adult Swim.
Yes, it does.
Hell yeah. Go Funimation. We got hella shit. Time for a fucking thunder blast of DVDs.
Let's do it.
Okay. A Centaur's Life is out now. You remember that show?
Yeah, it's about the girls who, in like this universe, like they're cat people or they're centaur people or like goat people or like angel people, and,
More or less, yeah.
and they're looking at each other's vaginas. Yeah, I remember that.
They were mostly, yeah.
That happened. That totally happened.
Well, yes, they were looking at each other's vaginas.
Bat people. Did I miss that? Bat people. There's bat people.
Yeah.
Vampires.
Slice of life. They got a little bit too, hey, guys, what are you doing?
And there's also like mermaid people who didn't get to see it, I don't think.
Yeah, super secret merbs. So.
Yeah, cool. Good for... I'm not buying that. That sounds bad. Keep going.
Okay. Assassination Classroom, 365 days.
What is that? Is that like an OVA? A movie?
It's a movie, yeah.
Damn, I'm super stoked because guess what? Guess who finished Assassination Classroom?
You did, boy.
I did. That means there's more to it. I really like that. That's interesting. I might check that out.
Nice. In another world with my smartphone.
Yeah, that's essentially the anime where the guy goes to another world and he has a smartphone and he's just super powerful and can do everything.
Because he has a smartphone, yeah.
Yeah, that show, not for me.
Not for you. Okay, that's fine. And then Tenchi Muyo.
Can I guess what that one is?
Yeah.
That's the one with the girls and the pink hair and the boobs.
I don't know. I don't fucking remember. This is the part where they just fucking started shotgun blasting again.
Okay.
There's like, hey, everyone loves this shit, right? Yeah, everyone knows In a World with a Smartphone. Tenchi Muyo, Vado Divine Flame, Alice and Zoroku,
Okay.
Monster Hunter Stories, Ride On.
Right on, man. Right on.
Yeah. Part 1 of Nanbaka.
Nambaka.
I Am Hero.
Okay.
Hey, good for them, right?
Yeah.
You like I Am Hero?
Yeah, I love it.
You don't remember I Am Hero?
That's the old one, yeah.
Yeah?
It's the old guy.
Yeah.
I like that one, yeah.
No, that's a different one.
What's the I Am Hero?
It's a zombie one.
Oh, that's an anime?
No, it's they're releasing it.
They're releasing it. They're making an anime out of it.
No,
What are they releasing?
the DVD, the Blu-ray.
Of the movie?
These are all Blu-rays of everything.
Oh, yeah, fine. That's cool. I'd rather
Because
see.
you don't remember how hard it was to get a hold of that.
Yeah, it was fine. I'd rather see an anime version because that's a really good show.
Yeah,
I mean, a really good
it is.
movie.
Sayuki Reload Blast.
I did not like that.
Twin Star Exorcist.
I know people who like that.
Hell yeah. Star Blazers 21.99.
I also know people who like that.
Coming out in August. 18 if.
I'm not coming out in August. Okay.
What?
What? Just keep going, Trip.
All right. My First Girlfriend's a Gal.
I know that one. I really remember that one.
Etchy as fuck.
Yeah.
Convenience Store Boyfriends.
Watch all that one. That one's good.
Knights and Magic.
Is that the one with the mechs?
No, it's the like dragony one. It has mechs in it?
Yeah, it's the one with the guy who dies in the real world and gets reincarnated and goes to like a fantasy world or whatever.
The only reason I remember is 'cause the guy at the thing was like, "Who doesn't like this? It's got technology."
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
It's Knights. Yeah, that's
yeah.
the one. I remember that one.
Fucking whack. I don't know.
I didn't finish it, but I want to.
Gamers.
That's the one where they make a video game, right?
No, that's a new
play
game.
video game.
Gamers is the school one.
Yeah, where like they have
club.
a video game club, and the
Yeah,
guy's just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't want to play with you guys. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
hell yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Fine.
Soccer Quest Part 2.
People like Soccer Quest.
Yeah,
good for
I
them.
mean, I checked it out. I was like, maybe I'm gonna watch more. And then I was like, I'm not gonna watch more.
You know what's interesting? Like
But that's just me.
You'll sit at these panels and people will cheer really loud for a show that
They're
you
like, fuck.
yeah.
No way. And it's like, hey, I saw that and I didn't have even close to a reaction. Like
Yeah, no,
that.
I think maybe some people just like to yell, but like people seem to have interest in shows that I don't. Like people really like Soccer Quest, and I'm like,
Yeah,
cool,
man.
good for them, not for me, but
Dude, I mean, it looks good.
Yeah,
Nothing
it
wrong
does
with
look
that.
good.
Chupacabra.
yeah, oh,
Queens.
yeah, for sure. That's what it was about. Yeah.
All right, I'm actually excited about this, so I think I might do this as well. Rekka 7 High Evolution. It's the first movie in a trilogy that's coming out. If you pre-order it, you receive a special film strip. It's 5 frames of the actual film itself. So I think I might do that because I think it's a cool idea.
I think that's something you would greatly enjoy. I think you should do that.
I definitely should. So shout out to Funimation for doing a cool pre-order thing for some shit that I love. But I don't know how this movie is, but I'm just going to go out and say, I love it. It's better than anything I've ever seen.
That's bold. What else you got?
It's really fucking bold. Hey, you remember when we talked about Assassination Classroom a little bit?
Yeah, we sure did.
Assassination Classroom live action is coming out soon. It's a live action movie.
I have been dying to see those. Those have been on my list, because there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
To see them, and I always said, Trip, we can't watch them because I haven't watched all the show. I don't want to get it spoiled
Well, guess
for me.
what? August, this shit's coming out.
And we can finally review it.
They had like specific dates for all these, but when I say they were shotgun blasting it, I mean they were fucking going hard. They were like August 8th, these 3 things, and then August 20th, and I'm like, holy shit, I just wrote down one of them, and you're already on to the next group. Okay, so next up, Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans. We're getting that. People love this.
That one was like actually on TV, so that was a good one. Yeah, I want to check that one out because I heard this is a good one to watch, even if you don't know too much about Gundam. So,
and a great show, Suraduri Children. That's coming out. I actually really like this, and I wish I watched more.
That's like the love one, but it's like super funny and like there's all the romantic stuff, right? Like, there's a like guy that like
he's like the president or some
and he
shit.
dates like the bad girl in quotations.
Yeah, but she's just like trying to be bad just for no reason because that's what high school kids do.
I really like the couple who are like stargazers or whatever. Yeah, that's a really good one actually.
Yeah, it feels really genuine. They did a good job.
Is that the one where like the kid has the girl over and the mom comes in
and she's like, yeah, I brought snacks.
And she's like, I'll come back later. And he's like, do you know what he's doing in there?
Fucking great.
That was a good show. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like some real shit.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Black Clover Season 1. If you pre-order that, you get an Asta keychain. So if you're into Black Clover, like some of us here are, Asta keychain sounds tight.
I don't know if people in Anime Expo were into Black Clover. Sierra said she saw like one Black Clover cosplay. I haven't
seen any Black Clover.
You guys see any cosplays for Black Clover?
Wild.
It wasn't really a cosplay. He was just wearing the...
Some dude was wearing the...
Yeah,
he
was wearing
like the shawl of...
He was wearing like the black...
Was it... Did you see if it was a Black Bull?
He was a Black Bull.
Okay, of course it's Black Bull. They're the coolest. Shout outs to Black Bulls. September, we're on to that.
Okay.
Aokana is coming out. No fucking clue what it is.
Couldn't tell you.
But goddamn, it's coming out.
Yeah.
Brave Witches. You know what that is?
Yeah, are those the girls that are like go to war or whatever?
You're getting close.
They turn into like airplanes or whatever.
Yeah. And what do they do to do that?
Oh, they do something sexual. Like,
yeah, they do kissy boys.
Oh yeah. That sounds horrible. But I think people lost their mind when they heard that.
They were like, Brave Witches! Yeah!
Isn't there like a spin-off one where girls, but they're like ships or whatever?
Strike Witches
Oh my God.
Brave Witches, and I don't know. Yeah, there's a whole fucking series of crazy shit. Anyways, Gintama Season 3 Part 2 is coming out in September. That's pretty cool.
Cool.
One Piece Collection 22 is coming out, so you could keep that going. Dude, could you imagine having that fat of a stack of One Piece DVDs? Fucking enormous.
No, I don't own a single DVD. Actually, that's not true. I own 6 DVDs, and they're all Hey Arnold. I think those are the only DVDs I own. If the world goes to shit, if like the cloud dies, if nothing works on my phone, as long as I have a DVD player.
Hey Arnold.
Yeah, I can just play that over and over.
Hey Arnold. So New Game Season 2. You know what New Game is about?
That's one where they make. That's one where they make an anime.
Ooh, close. So
where they make video games. Yeah,
yeah, that's the one. Saga of Tanya the Evil.
Yeah, it's one about the little girl the guy who got reincarnated into a little girl, and he just kills people.
Fuck yeah, Twin Star Exorcist Part 2.
You know what? I don't know what that's about, but people love it.
People do fucking love this. And then when we were at the Funimation panel, God's Will, the dude who's fucking shouting out all these things. He's just like, and this one around the office, we just call World End, but its full name is World End. What are you doing at the end of the world? Are you busy? Will you save us?
I remember watching that. It was super weird.
You know, I wanted to see more, and I never did. I think I was intimidated.
It was super confusing. Like the guy was in this weird unit, like this weird planet, and then he ends up like at some house. He's like, "You're the protector of this house now," and I was like, what is this, a harem? Is this ecchi?
I don't think it was.
I don't think it was either. I'm super confused as to what that was. All I know is that I never finished it. And I think it's funny that he had they all had a name. Like, we're not going to say the whole name.
Right? Like everyone at Funimation is just like, hey, how's World End? Cool. So this is all new news from this point on. That was stuff that had already been announced, but people that don't know, now they all know that shit. So new stuff that's been announced. October, Dragon Ball Super Part 5 is coming out. I know you're excited about that.
Oh, hell yeah.
High speed free starting days.
I'm guessing it's a anime version of the movie Speed.
I think it's like some fucking bicycle shit probably, but it's like not the bicycle shit, but it's like some bicycle shit.
It's like the pedal show or whatever.
Or, you know, it's just, I don't know, whatever. Okay. Maybe it's free. Who knows? So, free, take your marks. Speaking of free, that one's coming out. Those of you that like sexy boys and movies, this is exactly what you're looking for. They swim. That's the whole deal with free. And then free movie collection has 2 exclusive movies. So those of you that are looking for a ton of sexy boys, get that movie collection. There are going to be 2 art books and 4 art cards included with this. So you're going to have enough sexy boys to look at for the rest of your days. Pop Team Epic is coming out in October, so you could go ahead and get that on DVD. People lost their minds. They were all jizzing each other off.
I saw a lot of cool Pop Team Epic cosplays, so yeah, I'm down for
There
that.
were some good ones. Monster Hunter Stories Ride On Season 1 Part 4 is coming out in October. So rad.
Are you going to watch that?
Nope. Nambaka Part 2 is coming out in October. Recovery of an MMO Junkie is also coming out in October. And this is one that I think speaks true to a lot of people that are fans of anime. They fucking love that online shit. They've had those online relationships. And at this point, they're adults. So it's a little bit different. But yeah, love this. Love the concept of the show. It's good shit. And then here's a really interesting one. I thought Zillion, the complete series, is coming out in October. Do you know what Zillion is?
No, I don't think I've ever heard of it.
Old ass anime from the 80s. I've actually heard of it. It's just like a classic anime, and it's probably best known for being played in the background of a Michael Jackson video.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. So Zillion's coming out. People that are fans of old ass anime, here's some old ass anime for you. All right, now buckle your butt down, Juan, because this is the biggest news I've got for you
let's
specifically.
fucking hear it. Ultimate Muscle revitalized or whatever.
Mamoru Hosoda movie collection. Mamoru Hosoda, whatever his name is. I'm fucking bad with names.
What's
Don't
he
worry
do?
about it. So that's coming out. It's got The Boy and the Beast, Summer Wars, Wolf Children, and The Girl Who Leapt Through Time on it.
Those are all bangers. And
Yeah.
and we all know Summer Wars is the best Digimon movie there is out there. So
Hell yes, it is. And for those of you that don't know, Summer Wars is not a Digimon movie, but
Should
goddamn,
be.
it feels like
Fucking
it.
should
And it
be.
turns out Mamoru Hosoda, I'm fucking bad with this name. I'm so sorry, Mr. Man. He actually directed the Digimon movie.
yeah, I bet he fucking did.
And then it was like, you know what? Summer Wars. Let's just do that.
Out of all of
instead.
those, which one do you like the best? Because I have fondness for all of them.
The ones that I like the best, well, Girl Who Leapt Through Time has like a super special place in my heart. I love that movie.
Yeah.
It was with me through some like weird fucking awkward times in my life. And then Wolf Children made me fucking crawl. I haven't watched it more than once because I got
Really?
so emotional over it, man.
Yeah, Wolf Children made me sad I'd never be a mom.
Honestly, yes. Right?
I think, you know what? I really like The Boy and the Beast, honestly.
The Boy and the Beast was a really cool movie. I don't know if I should call it a coming of age movie.
I don't know what it was. It was amazing.
It was fucking cool though. They had some dope fights. They had like a really cool world, really interesting relationships between the
Yeah,
characters.
I like that movie a lot.
Mamoru Hosoda,
Yeah, that guy.
got him. The collection coming out in October. I'm crazy excited about it. I want it bad, Daddy.
Oh, I bet you do.
Give it to me, Daddy.
I will.
So check it out. We're gonna pull it back a little bit here. Dagashi Kashi season 2 comes out in October as
Is
well.
that the candy one?
It's the candy one.
Okay, cool.
So those of you that like kind of etchy shit and also food, this one's like less than Food Wars, but like
It's
in the
still
same. It's
etchy,
like
yeah.
junk food instead of like gourmet food. So I'm
Yeah.
down. And Witch Hunter Robin. That's something that I don't know much about.
Never heard of it.
So cool. We're going to go ahead and jump on over to announcements from Funimation. The Real Life OVA is coming in fall.
Okay, I really like Real Life. I should finish it because they have OVAs.
Yeah.
That's on Crunchyroll, but I haven't finished them.
Yeah,
so that means they're probably getting the simuldub.
Yeah.
They're getting dubbed or whatever.
This was big news for me. I didn't know about this shit. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to go to the trigger panels and check out the premiere of like SSS Gridman.
Yeah.
But SSS Gridman is coming out in fall.
Nice.
So we actually got like dates on that. I watched the trailer for it. Did you see the promotional video?
I did. It looked pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks interesting. Like a combination of like Ultraman, like just fucking classic Sentai type shit,
but triggered up.
and like some relationshipy like vibes. So it's got a little bit of Kiznaiver, a little bit of Darling in the Franxx, a little bit of fucking Gurloggin. It's going all over the place. It's nuts. Tokyo Ghoul Re is coming to Funimation now this fall. So check it out.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm not a Tokyo Ghoul guy, but dude, you know what? Some people are.
Yeah, not us.
That's everything from Funimation. They fucking dropped so much goddamn news. That's what I want in a panel. They're like, these are the things that we're doing. These are the things that are going to happen. Like,
Yeah. There's no beating around the bush.
Fucking thing. It was rad. I was into that. So good shit, Funimation.
Yeah, always. I'm a huge fan of Funimation. So yeah, I'm glad that we're able to provide the goods.
Yeah, man.
So the next thing that's up on their list is you got to see the world premiere of a movie, right?
Yeah, so I was pretty into this. We got to go see Liz and the Bluebird. It's a spinoff of Sound Euphonium or Hikibe Euphonium. And the producer was there. He didn't have much to say about it, but that was okay because we also had the music director, and he had a fucking lot to say.
For sure.
So this is the dude who's done the music for Devilman Crybaby, which
I love.
Anybody that's seen it knows how good the fucking music is.
That fucking intro hits so hard.
Dude, every part of that show has amazing music. It's great. Killer raps, killer background music, killer intro. Just fucking good all over the place. And then A Silent Voice, which had some of the most fantastic, absolutely spectacular music that set each scene perfectly. One of the best, maybe the best movie I've ever seen.
Probably one of my favorite movies.
It's so fucking good. It's so important. Everyone should watch it. I think I'm willing to say that at this point. It's very powerful.
Yeah.
And I think everyone should check it out. So during this, he kind of explained how when he was working on A Silent Voice with the director, her and him like worked with each other so well, and they just like completely understood what the other person wanted, and they were able to make something amazing. And they worked on the exact same project together, or they worked in the same way that they worked on that project with Liz and the Bluebird. So he was able to make music and really focus on all the music in the movie in a similar fashion to A Silent Voice. So each scene, the music was very powerful. They also recorded, they have the same dude who did all of the like orchestral, or not orchestral, but the like high school band.
Yeah, the band music, yeah.
Yeah, the band music. So they brought back that same guy who did that. And they actually recorded it in a high school, the one that was in the movie.
Nice to actually get the vibes of it.
Yeah, so everything's based off of this actual high school. So they recorded everything there. So it has this like actual sound and feeling of being in a high school, which is awesome. And then they went there and they made sure to make like a bunch of noise on pretty much everything they have. So all the sound effects in the movie are from the actual place. And the reason that they did this is they wanted to, this movie is it's a pretty intimate movie. He described it a lot as being super subtle. Like the themes of the movie are subtle, all the emotions. It feels like nothing's really happening in the movie, but a lot goes on and it's really subtle is essentially what he told us over and over. So the reason that he wanted to have all these sounds and stuff that only they would know because it's a part of the life that they have or whatever. Yeah. He wanted to be more intimate. So you see these moments between the characters and you get to hear those sounds that they're hearing.
For sure.
Because they're together and nobody else can hear that. So it feels like you're more in that moment. I'm like, oh, I mean, that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It didn't come across the same way. Like, it didn't have the same kind of power.
Like, he said it, and you're like, cool, I get what you're going for, but maybe I didn't feel it as much as you want me to feel it. Yeah.
I'm like, completely understand. It was amazing. It was an emotional movie. It was really good. Didn't cry during this movie, but it was, there was a good little bit where I had some heavy eyes going on.
For sure.
It was intense.
I know that, was it Liz and the Bluebird's going to have a world premiere sometime pretty soon?
Yes, it's coming out.
Let's not get too into like
don't want to get into the big details. Essentially, it's just a story between two girls that are in the Sound Euphonium TV series, but we actually don't really get any real big moments between any of the other characters from the series. You have like a couple of others like that are around every once in a while.
Little cameos or whatever.
Yeah, but like the main character was in it like twice. She's in the background once, and then she's like playing music at one point.
Did people yell when she came up, I bet?
Well, no.
Really? People were respectful and didn't go, oh my God, it's that one character, like they did for the fucking My Hero thing.
No, I mean, it's a little bit different. My Hero is just like the hypest shit. And this was a little bit more like, hey, check it out. Because like people that are fans of Sound Euphonium aren't like crazy hyped about it. Like I don't want to spoil the end of it.
Was it packed?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was fucking packed in there. I don't want to spoil the end of the TV series, the second season, but it like ends on a very different note than a lot of other shows do. And it feels like it could keep going on. Like the story is not done, but we got to see parts of these people's lives.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So this movie takes place after that. So we don't get to see the story of the people that you followed in the show, but these side characters. And it was really cool. And we got to see some amazing visuals. He drew from, I don't remember what it was called, but there's a special thing that's, it's French. And essentially it's like when two things slowly like come together.
Yeah.
And a visual representation of that is like two droplets of watercolor slowly bleeding into each other and becoming one.
For sure. That's cool.
So the coolest thing I thought about all this, like, it's fucking gorgeous, made by Kyoto Animation.
Yeah.
Characters are great. You don't need to be a fan of sound to euphonium in order to see this, which I thought was pretty important. But one of the coolest things was when he was writing all the music, he did it in watercolor in all these different colors, and they all bleed together in this way, and it's fucking fantastic. He showed us little like snippets, but we couldn't take pictures of it. It was really cool. Just a super great movie. I was highly impressed.
Cool. Like we said, there's going to be a world premiere, like an actual like a theatric release.
Yeah,
and we'll
I
go
believe
watch
it's this
it
fall.
and we'll give it a full review like we do with other things. Are you done with? Are we done with this? Going to the next thing?
That's pretty much everything I have. That was a huge one.
Cool. So the thing I went to while you were doing your Liz and the Bluebird thing.
Yeah. I was really into this. I was super sad I couldn't go.
I went to this panel called Anime by the Numbers. And I didn't really know what it was. Honestly, it just sounded like an interesting title. I didn't find out until I was like actually in line that it was it was held on by Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Which I got told because people kept walking by. Is this a Crunchyroll panel? I was like, no. It's Anime by the Numbers. And so he was like, it's Anime by the Numbers presented by Crunchyroll or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, well, that makes more sense.
Well, excuse me.
Anyway, so this was held by some guy named Miles Thomas, and he does the social media for Crunchyroll. He originally was like an events guy, and I guess he just likes to play with numbers. Funny enough, he was a agricultural business major.
Okay.
And he somehow ended up working in anime, which is interesting.
Dude, that's how shit happens sometimes.
So he was explaining his love for numbers and how he likes to fiddle with things because, Crunchyroll obviously, gets a bunch of data from the things that we watch. And so he's just like, oh, I wonder what I can do with all this stuff. And so he would just kind of intermittently like give his higher ups like just, reports or whatever. Like these are some reports of some stuff that I thought would be super cool, And then he said that he went to like 5 cons back to back. And then his boss him up was like, yo, dude, Miles, where the fuck are my numbers? And so it just became his job. He became the numbers guy.
Of course.
So apparently Miles had some YouTube videos, and I'm assuming the YouTube videos were called like Anime by the Numbers, where he did this kind of thing where he'd be like, buy, sell on whatever, kind of like a money talk or whatever stuff, those crazy shows about like buying and selling stocks. They stopped obviously. But I'm going to go check them out cause they sound interesting. But yeah, so he was just telling us like, this is just a bunch of him telling us numbers about things.
Right.
And so I got a bunch of like just random number facts that I can give you. One thing I want to make very clear, was that he, like, like how you were saying that like the producer for Sound Euphonium was a director. It was the director, right?
The producer didn't really say much.
I feel like it's very often not that these people are very soft spoken, don't say very much. A lot of the things they say are just like, yeah, I'm inspired by this, and I worked with this person who made this thing, and that's about all they say,
Yeah.
So the motif for this one was he would be like, here are these numbers. What do they mean? They could mean this. They could mean that. They could mean nothing. And I was just like, fucking, you're an asshole. Because like I get super mad because like he'd ask a question like, so does this mean that people that like this also like this? And he'd pose the question. People would be like, no, yes. And he'd be like, well, it's actually maybe. So I don't know. At first, that kind of like ticked me off. But he was actually really like really funny. He was really good at his job, and it made what he was telling me entertaining. The thing that sucked was there's also like fellow Crunchyroll employees that knew him that were just kind of essentially they were, what's the word when like a comedian gets yelled at?
They were heckling?
They were kind of like heckling him. Like he said something like, "Yeah, it takes a lot of. It's like I work really hard on this," and they were like, "Huh, work hard, huh?" And and it just interrupted the flow of things, which bugged me. But he handled it very well, in my opinion. Anyways, let's get into some of these things. Yeah. So in 2016, because this is like his latest report, right? So 38% of all anime money, that's the revenue, has come from overseas.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty interesting, right? Okay, so what else we got? So in 04, 05, and 06, the money wasn't as high, obviously.
Yeah.
And the reason that is because Crunchyroll didn't become a thing until like later. Like it became like it didn't exist or whatever.
Yeah.
So once it became more readily available, like it just kind of took off slowly. And then before you knew it, like it just really hit like a peak, and it was like boom, and then just fucking it's going through the roof.
Plateaued.
Yeah.
Or
no, it's still growing. Actually.
still growing.
Yeah, it's growing. In 185 countries, that's where Crunchyroll is like streamed, or whatever.
Yeah.
And the fact here is that that's more than than countries that are recognized by the United Nations, technically.
Fuck.
Yeah. So one thing he wanted to talk about too was co-productions.
Okay.
So do you know, like, what would you think is a co-production? Like,
Darling in the Franxx.
okay. So he was explaining to us that there's like a bunch of different types of co-productions, right?
Yeah.
And he gave us examples of animes that are co-productions.
Uh-huh.
So he was saying there's a commission co-production. An example are the Marvel shows that are made, the Marvel anime shows.
Yeah.
So Marvel commissions them to be made for marketing, essentially.
Right.
So that's what would be a commissioned co-production.
Or like Monster Hunter stories right on.
Mhm, exactly. Like someone
Pokemon.
paid money for that to be made or whatever.
Yeah.
I think Pokemon. I don't know if Pokemon counts, but Pokemon was a manga before it was. Right? It was a.
I thought it was a game that turned into everything
Is that how it worked? I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyways, this next one was a show I'd never heard of, but it was called Sensei Soul of Gold.
Oh yeah, that's Aramanga Sensei.
No. And apparently that was specifically made for Argentina because it's made 3 times as much money as it did in Japan. So as what's the word? As like an overseas sell, like we're making this specifically to sell this one market, which was Argentina. So it was made 3 times more money than it ever did in Japan.
I guess in a way that's like Kill la Kill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we can talk about that in a bit. Next one was he described it as a Netflix original, and like he had his own category, and he put it in quotation marks saying that like seven deadly sins falls under this because Netflix is like a company that their information
is media
private,
giant,
but their information is private. Like you don't have access to it. We don't know what the extent of like their hand was making it. So Netflix obviously fronted the bill somehow, right? But we don't know if they were like right next to them, hounding them on how to make it, or they just paid the money for it to be made. But the point is, it is a Netflix original, so It has that stamp. The last one would be a co-production that he can, like a true co-production, would be something that considered from like Ghost in the Shell that Crunchyroll helped co-produce in 1995. They paid $5 million. Manga UA spent $5 million to make this thing made. And it took a while for them to make their money back, but it's, it has made its money back and then some since then.
Yeah.
And so that's what he considers a true co-production. And the only reason he considers that one a true co-production is because he knows where the money is because he has access to those numbers.
Right.
Yeah. So I thought it was pretty cool. Next up, which is kind of like a really simple question. He asked, why is anime made or whatever? Is it made to sell more manga, all this stuff? And someone yelled out that it was made to make money. And, which is kind of a good reason, right? Why is anime made? So he said, actually, in reality, there's never one true reason why anime is made because there's like so much behind it. Like
there are a lot of different reasons. Yeah. Some people just want it because they want to tell a story, and other people want to make it because they fucking do want that money.
Yeah, absolutely. He was naming a specific director who says that he doesn't care if his things make any money as long as he gets to make what he wants to make.
Yeah.
And he says that's very admirable, but that's just like one person, right?
Right.
But there's also people who who are invested in this and like, oh, I invest. I'm a Toyland. I make toys, right? So all I care about is the merchandise of this thing. So that's all they care about. So we got
some Transformers shit.
Yeah, absolutely. So and so he had a cool list of like these animes from Japan and the merch and which one made the most money. Could you guess what the number one anime had made the most merch in Japan? I'm telling you, it's going to be
of all time.
In this year.
In this
in 2018,
year.
yeah.
Fuck.
I think it's a slice of life.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
I have no fucking. My guess was Pokemon.
Pokemon. I didn't know where Pokemon was on the list, but I didn't see it up there.
Yeah.
It's actually. What would you say, Kyle?
Love Live?
It was Love Live, actually. Good
Love
job,
Live.
Kyle. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the yeah.
Okay. Love Live, and then
call.
but check it out. And then could you guess what number 2 was?
Love Live.
Free?
One Piece.
No, Love Live was number 1. Number 2 was a show called Idol Masters. And
Oh yeah, that's
do you know what Idol Masters is?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's essentially the show where it's a bunch of
They're like the same thing.
like a bunch
honestly.
of poppy idol people, and they have those like generic, like I'm the brooding one, I'm the little one,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
and then they make them idols or whatever, right?
Yeah, and then they fucking market the fuck out of it. They're like, here's some stickers, and then here's a fucking figure, and here's a poster, and here's a fucking goddamn tampon.
And they
I don't know.
and they wanted to show that that just because something is popular and is making money doesn't ring true to quality, right?
Right.
Because I would argue, and I think many would argue or agree also, that Idol Masters is a shitty show, but it made a shit ton of money in merch.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the way that just like TV works in general.
For
Like,
sure, yeah.
There's a fucking bunch of garbage.
Like the Jersey
television.
Shore, huge
Yeah, absolutely
total trash.
giant. Yeah.
Okay,
Anyways,
so I got some more. Here we go. So and then there's like a whole list.
Yeah.
But like again, this is funny. We were because he had like a slideshow.
Yeah.
We were told not to take pictures.
right.
Only 5 minutes till the thing was over.
Yeah.
So people were taking pictures and taking videos and stuff. And then the girl goes up and goes like, "Hey, by the way, you can't take pictures." And I was just like, "Okay, well, we did, but we're not going to release them."
Yeah.
So
if you want to see those, you could go on the dark web. We are posting them there. You can find us on instaramen. Don't tell
people we took
government.
pictures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean I have it somewhere, but here's just like in between. So like there's the next. So number 10 is a point that he brought up was Takagi-san. Remember with that one, Takagi-san?
No.
It's the show about the little girl who teases the other boy.
Oh yeah.
Made
fuck
the
yeah,
10th
yeah,
most
yeah.
money on merchandise.
And that was I felt like its name was like
Takagi-san, yeah, something like that. And then here
Jose or something.
and the reason he brought that up was because check it out, that was number 10, which again I really like that show.
Yeah.
But it's not a show that like I feel like has that huge like cult following, right?
No, I mean it's got a cutesy style and it's young enough for people to be like, oh yeah, I fucking love that shit.
Number
Right?
12, My Hero Academia.
Yeah, sure, that makes sense.
Yeah, there's no fucking merch. It's crazy, right? They don't give
Yeah.
a shit about making stuff. Okay, so
no,
then
that's just their MO though.
okay, so I'm gonna ring through a few more. Number 14 was Attack on Titan. 15,
Makes
Tokyo
sense.
Ghoul.
Okay.
19, that time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Oh, which fun fact, I purchased that today, the
Also-
first manga, because it's coming out as a show soon, and I wanted to, be ahead of the game and be like, yeah, I know what happened.
Also, a fun fact is that this thing is ranked 19th overall for the merch, right, that it's made. And it still hasn't technically dropped an anime
Yeah,
yet.
it hasn't.
It has, I think, is it a manga or a light novel?
It's a manga.
So I mean, it's been made. Don't get me wrong. The
Yeah.
the anime is made and whatever. It just hasn't premiered. But that being said, it still made that much money.
Fucking wild.
Cool. Okay, so next up is U.S. versus Japan, and these are just comparisons between the two. Okay,
Okay.
not like a war. We did that. It wasn't good.
No, everyone
end
regretted it.
Yeah, okay, so here we go. So 1 in every 200 Americans were watching Dragon Ball Z.
1 in 200?
1 in every 200.
I felt like it would be higher, but I don't know.
I feel like that's a lot.
I mean, it seems like a lot, but I feel like there are a lot of people that are like closeted DBZ fans.
Okay, my opinion. It's still a lot of people.
Yeah, no, that's a lot.
Okay, here we go. But this one really blew. Okay, so like 1 in 200, right? Check it out. 1 in 9 people watch Detective Conan in Japan.
What the fuck?
1 in 9.
You fucking, oh my god.
It just isn't that crazy? Someone asked why that was a thing, and the guy had like a really good answer. He was saying, well, like Detective Conan was something that like, why Detective Conan wasn't as huge as it was in the United States or whatever.
Yeah.
And the answer was because in Japan it's something you kind of grew up with or whatever.
Right.
And so even no matter how many iterations there are,
it's hard in the United States because
we didn't grow up with that.
Yeah.
You know, that's not like
but
our,
like now Dragon Ball Z, they could just make it forever and be like, oh, yep, you used to watch this. I'll watch it with my kiddo.
Okay, so they also compared that the late night anime ratings, the ones in Japan are similar to the ones in
The United States?
In the United States. The way like because we know we have Toonami
Like
or whatever.
Toonami,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So their late night, anime ratings mirror ours, which are just essentially just Toonami because that's the only real cable thing that has it.
So a collective in Japan is the same as one channel in the United States.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Whoa.
Here we go. 50% of all Japanese users watch anime on Netflix. It's pretty cool, right?
Half of the people in Japan watch anime on Netflix.
50% of the of Japanese users watch anime on Netflix. Yeah, here we go. Netflix is third in Japan, like the streaming site or whatever.
Okay, so what are the top two?
Yeah, they didn't tell me.
All right, probably some Japanese exclusive
I
shit.
mean, yeah, I'm assuming, but as streaming sites, technically Netflix is number one in the U.S., which I feel like is goes
That's
without saying.
no-brainer.
Yeah, for sure. But here's a good one: only 10% of Americans watch anime on Netflix.
Yeah, we actually went on an Uber ride with some dude tonight, and he's like, "Yeah, there are a lot of hidden gems on Netflix."
And I feel like you mean like a bunch
man.
of stuff that I personally have seen.
Yeah, just like, oh, you mean those things that are like were huge fucking 10 years ago or some shit? All right, cool.
Yeah, and here's just some numbers. Here we go. 2006, Crunchyroll is created, right?
Yeah.
2008 is the first simulcast. That's cool. Only 2 years later.
Yeah.
And then 2009, it grosses. It goes 100% legit. And I think it was super funny that he said that because he goes like, "We're legit now." They weren't legit for like 3 years.
So what the were there some Kiss anime shit?
I know. I didn't watch it back then, so I couldn't tell you what the site was like.
Being a little fucking weeb piece of shit back in 2006
Must have been hard.
I can't remember if I came in 2006 or 7, but I definitely came to Anime Expo and I was checking out all the shit, and it was way fucking different back then, man. It was a totally different beast. And then several years went by, and it was a little bit more like, all right, so now I know like where I can watch stuff and like how to do that, but I don't have the money for it. And then I think it was like 2012. It became like, yeah, Crunchyroll has so much shit. Like, I might as well just get it.
Yeah, no, that's as soon as I found out, like, there was a show I wanted to watch. This is how I got Crunchyroll. Was like, there's a show I wanted to watch, and it was because I used to just like type it in on Google and just watch it whenever it was. Yeah, it wasn't anywhere. And the first thing I went to was Crunchyroll. I was just like, I really kind of want to see this show. And I was like, I can watch it. And I started watching it. It was free with commercials. And I was like, cool, I'm instantly paying for this. I'm not dealing with commercials.
Yeah, you was like, fuck that. But when was that you...
I can't remember. I mean, it must have been a little before you and I started the podcast.
Yeah, because that's the fucking weird thing, though, is that all this time goes by. Like, I've seen anime for years and years and years, and I look it up because that's the first thing you do. You look up this and like where to watch. You don't necessarily look it up and be like free or whatever. You're just like where to watch this.
Yeah.
And then most of the time it was like on this shady fucking website. Or if you couldn't find it, you're like, guess I'm gonna go pirate some shit.
You know what's interesting too? This whole conversation about like getting Crunchyroll for the first time, because I was saying it must have been a little bit before you and I started, reviewing things. It must have been something like Heroku's Basketball or something like that. Because I remember like being like, oh, I want to watch this anime. I found where I can watch it, started watching it. And then I hit you up and be like, hey, you want to start a podcast with me? In my head, being like, I know plenty about anime, right? Yeah. Instantly and realistically knowing nothing. Because then you and I are talking like, hey, there's a bunch of new animes for this season. I was just like, season? What do you mean season? I didn't know there were seasons of anime. Like I didn't.
That's the fucking crazy shit.
It blew my mind.
At this point, I'm sitting here and I'm like, wearing my press pass right now. Yeah. Just my press pass, naked. Nothing else.
Press pass. That's canon, yeah.
And I'm like, I legitimately feel like press. Some fucking... Let's just talk about this girl for a second. Are we okay with that?
Yeah, some chick was in our premiere line with us, and she was sitting and she looked over at us. She was really annoying. If you ever listen to this, you were fucking annoying. She does this thing where she goes... have you ever seen this? Like, she's bugging you. She's like, have you ever seen this anime with this character? I don't know if you've seen it.
Do you watch a lot of anime?
And we're like, yeah,
I watch too much fucking anime. Don't
fucking test me, bitch. And she goes like, it's about like an assassin, and like she has like long black hair, and it's like, I'm like, you mean Aki got kill or whatever. Akame kill. And she's just like, yeah, that's the one. You ever seen it? It's like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Get out of my face.
She's like, Dead Man Wonderland. Like, yeah, okay, we're fucking done right now. Like, and meanwhile, I'm like, I haven't like seen all this shit.
Yeah, but I know of it.
I know it. I know like
I saw
pretty much anything. Yeah, like there's so many people that come by, and I'm like,
know that,
know that costume. Don't know who you are. Like, there was a picture the other day that was like, oh, oh, what character you are based on your birth month, and I didn't know a couple. I think one of them wound up being the main character from Tokyo Ghoul Re,
Okay, cool.
and that was the white with the black.
The
hair
only
guy.
the only cosplays that throw me for a loop are cosplays like super huge armor. That's because I'm not a super huge armor kind of guy. So
Yeah.
like it's like it could be something from Fate, it could be something from like fucking Dragon Hunter,
Yeah.
fucking Dragon Slayer. What's it called, Kyle? What do you like? Monster Slayer,
Monster Hunter. What the fuck's wrong
monster
with
butt
you?
fuckers. And then, or it could be like something from Fate. So you know.
Right. Well, there's so many video game cosplays.
Yeah,
It's hard
so
to tell.
those are the ones I
but
don't
then
know.
there's like a dude who's dressed in like full armor suit with a big old dragon helmet, and I'm like,
That's
dude's probably guts.
That's Guts from the
Like,
anime
I don't
Guts.
know for sure, and I'm like, okay, let me just Google like Berserk dragon armor.
Yeah.
Oh, yep, there he
I
is.
saw that guy. That guy was dope.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Here's this next thing. So he was talking about a good like tools that people use or whatever.
Yeah.
And like how the bias behind them.
Yeah.
So you and I do use this. We use My Anime List, right?
Uh-huh.
And the reason we use My Anime List is mostly to be like not to gauge how good something is or the ratings.
Oh, absolutely
No.
never, because it's so fucking skewed on there.
So the reason we use it is because they'll have like who produced it, who directed it, all that stuff, or what the studio
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
So he brought it up and he wanted to explain that like it said that like fucking Death Note is like one of the best animes of all time, which is fine. I really like it, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
But there's another anime where it's just like fucking what was it? I can't remember. But the point was, My Anime List can't be really considered a good source to like rate what something is as like
It's not at all.
things like fucking Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood only has 1 million reviews. Imagine 1 million reviews, right? But that means 1 million people went up there, made a profile, went above and beyond to like review this and put all this information.
Yeah.
Essentially making them like in quotations the elite anime watchers, right?
Right, so that the only people that have that are people that are like,
Have no-
I like anime so
so
fucking much, I'm gonna do this, or they're like, I fucking hated this shit so goddamn much. So it's pretty extreme.
It's essentially like they're the Yelp reviewers of anime.
Yeah.
So,
which I mean, if somebody like if I'm watching something and somebody's like, hey, give me a review of this, like 1 to 5.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool, like 3.5.
Yeah.
Whatever. But it's not like that. It's like, all right, you finished watching this 2 years ago. Do you want to review it?
Yeah.
Like,
So essentially, he was just letting us know that My Anime List isn't the best to go use to be like the rating on this says this.
I'm really glad he was able to, get that information
And
out
I feel
there.
like some people were really upset about that. They're like, what? Like they like almost like My Anime List was like God or whatever. Like it was the end all be all of anime. When in reality, it's the Yelp of anime.
I go onto My Anime List and I'm like, whoa, cool. There are a bunch of directors and there are a bunch of screenwriters and stuff. And these are the voice actors. Tight. Here's the studio that made this. Here they're oh, so cool. And then I read the synopsis and I'm like, well, I have no fucking clue what this is about. So I'm going to go look up some other shit.
Here we go. We're ready to go.
It doesn't even have enough.
So pop quiz: pumpkin spice lattes or Naruto fans? Which one is greater?
Naruto fans.
Without a doubt, yeah. Fucking
Yeah,
blows them out the
easily.
water. Yeah. Okay, so also there are more animes made in 2016 than American scripted TV shows.
Really?
Yep. In 2012, Attack on Titan season 1, essentially boosted like the AX essentially. So we had a graph where like it was showing the popularity of AX, and someone asked like what happened in 2012. No, 2016, because it had a huge spike, right?
Yeah.
And the guy said, I can't give you a definitive answer because it's a really broad question. If you want a numbers answer, like, but I can, assume that it's because of this massive show that dropped that year
Good assumption.
and had the hugest like following you've ever seen, and just brought everybody back into the fold of anime. So that's what just catapulted AX through the sky, which is essentially like, it was crazy to see how chill the bar graph was, and then it's like 2016, fucking through the roof. Here we go. What else we got? Okay, so he was also wanting to explain like what type of animes the West likes as opposed to
Hentai.
Japan. No, as opposed to Japan.
Hentai, just
so,
hentai.
so because sometimes people will come up to him and be like, "Hey, fucking Miles, what do you think of this anime? Is it going to be successful here or there or whatever?"
That's pretty cool to have people ask you that question. First off.
So he says, essentially, and I think this is like common on Japan. They like more low stakes kind of stuff, chill vibes, like, you know, fucking happy animes, you know, comedies and stuff.
Lo-fi hip-hop.
Those things fucking blow up over there, right? And then in the West, crazy shit, you know, just fucking hella epic. So essentially, like, you know, kill stuff.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that really pops off over
my
here.
hero, we're all jerking each other off over here. Fucking
Japan's like, fucking just do something funny. You know, do the thum joke, you know?
Yeah, do that joke where he rapes her.
Yeah, do the rapey joke.
Fucking Japan doing that weird goddamn shit. I'm over here and I'm like, all right, cool. I want to see Attack on Titan. Like, I want to see these people just like transform and like boner blast each other into the future. But no, you're over here just like being like, oh my gosh, I forgot my toast at school. I have to go back to school to eat my breakfast.
What are you doing?
I'm a little bit drunk.
Yeah. Okay. So that's essentially all the numbers I had. Sierra, did you have any numbers that were really
Sierra,
that you were like dying to talk about or anything I missed? Because Sierra went to get this thing with me.
I don't think
Cool.
so.
Okay,
You
so that
covered
was
most of it.
That's essentially animated by the numbers. I think if he did it again next year, I'd go because I really enjoyed him.
Man, I know. I was so fucking bummed that I couldn't go. I wanted to go so bad.
Yeah, so it was a good time. I did have to get there early because as apparently my press pass didn't work in the premiere line for that specific thing.
Whoa.
Which is fine. I was still the first one in on the regular.
More press.
Okay, she's got one.
More
What was
press.
it?
Anime is bigger.
Anime is bigger than American TV.
I think I said that, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
No, I did not.
You shut up, Sierra, you fucking whore.
Whoa. Whoa. What's wrong with you?
I'm a little drunk.
Okay.
One said something about there was more anime done than
Then American scripted
yeah,
TV.
there was one. Yeah.
That's a bit different.
Okay, well, whatever. There's
okay,
more. Yeah,
whatever.
anime's bigger than TV. Okay, anyways. Cool. Okay, so.
Thank you for the input, Sierra.
so
Shut up, Chris.
I love you.
So that was the end of day 2 for anime. We actually went to medieval times afterwards, so we
went
bounced
to
out early.
Oh man, we were fucking nuts
we,
too.
we
were
missed
cool.
we missed some other things, but
We missed Trigger because of that. We missed Makia when the promised flower blooms, which I'm very excited. I'm gonna go see it in theaters fucking immediately when that comes out.
That being said, I don't regret it because medieval
not
times is
at
something
all.
I've always wanted to do, and I can highly recommend it to anybody. You get in, you get a cool little crown. You get to there's beer and liquor and stuff. You sit down. They give you food on like metal trays and bowls, and then you see some really fucking cool shit. You see some horses. You get a knight that you have to cheer for. We have the Green Knight. Green. So we it's not we didn't get to pick where we sat, but we ended up sitting in the Green Knight section. Who that day by random the odds or whatever, he was chosen to be the bad guy, and it became very clear quickly that he was being posed as being the bad guy.
We were just like,
and we're
this
like,
guy's the man.
Fuck, he's the bad guy. But we did not give a fuck.
Guess what? Who gives a fuck? Regicide.
We cheered so hard for him, and then so did everybody else in our section.
Holy shit, green section was popping off. Everyone else was like, yeah, we want to be cool too. But mostly we were just like, fuck you guys. We'll fucking kill everyone of you. Go green. Green or go home.
There was other sections that were like, you just saw them sitting there eating like their chicken with their hands or whatever. And it was like, it almost looked like they're like, yeah, just came here for a nice lovely dinner. And we're just like losing our fucking shit.
Yeah. Anytime somebody that wasn't the Green Knight was up,
we're like, boo.
Boo.
What's
and
funny?
Like the fucking waitress comes up. She's like, mind if I take that? I'm like, boo. Oh yes, thank you so much.
The waitress comes up to us and goes, "Hey, you guys know that the blue knight and the red and yellow knight are on your team, right?" We're like, "Excuse me."
Meanwhile, then we're just like, "We were the bad guys. Fuck you. We were right the whole time."
So sadly, Green Knight
was amazing.
Green Knight lost, but we had a great time. We got to take a picture with
Holy
him.
shit, it was great.
We all had a
he's
really good
massive
time.
Boy.
We lost our voice, and then we came to the hotel. We sat down, and it took me a second to compose myself and realize we were at a family friendly establishment. like we said some fucked up shit.
Yeah, whatever.
Kill him, fucking murder him.
Anyways, before that, I made a big choice. I did the choicest choice. I shaved off all my face.
Oh, you did, yeah. So
I'm faceless now.
Trip is cleanly shaved. Oh, also before that, I gave away a Dratini for a person I met on the bus.
Yeah.
So here's what happened.
Girlfriend.
Yeah, these guys keep making fun of me, but I made a friend on the bus on the shuttle ride back, right? And she was playing Pokemon Go, and I was also playing Pokemon Go, and she really wants to get a what's a Dragonite, right? That's what the last thing is for Dratini.
She's trying to dragon it up.
And so I didn't really like care to trade with her, but then she said she'd give me a Blastoise, but she couldn't because I think it was an event Pokemon. But she really wanted the Dratini, and the Dragonite. She needed the candy, right?
Yeah.
So I gave her my Dratini for a Scyther, which is fine. But we're friends, and I gave her a business card, so I lost a Dratini for the podcast, guys.
Shout outs to that girl. What's her name?
I don't remember what her name was, but
Jocelyn?
No, but her
Pokefan29?
Her I guess her her Pokemon name thing was
Sarah.
Knox Wolf Kira. So maybe her name was Kira.
Oh, Kira.
She's from Chicago. If you're out there.
Ooh, Kira from Chicago. Shout outs to Kira.
If you're listening, I gave her a card. If she's listening to the podcast, hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
I hope you get your Dragonite.
I hope you do too.
And I hope you know how much shit I'm getting from everybody just for talking to you, which is kind of bullshit.
You know what, Kira, if I was there, a whole different game would have been played that night.
Yeah, he would have said nothing to you.
I'm like, oh, hello.
And he would just gone his way. Cool. So let's get into day 2 because we don't want this episode to go too long.
So Kyle and I dressed up as Daru and Kyoma Okabe from Steins Gate. I dressed up like Steins Gate Zero Daru. Kyle dressed up.
Sorry,
like
this is for day 3, right?
Yeah, this is day 3.
Yeah, day 3.
This is today. Kyle dressed up as regular ass Kyoma because he's not about to wear like 20 layers in black at like 100 degrees weather.
Yeah, I don't blame Kyle at all.
Fuck that. And it was pretty fun. I haven't cosplayed for a little while, so this felt pretty refreshing, pretty nice. Some people stopped me and were like, hey, you're really pretty. Do you mind if I sign your dick? And I was like, why not?
I think my favorite guy was a guy that came up to you and he just like looked at you and he like points at his hat and it's the same as your hat. He goes like, and you're like, yeah, man, my hat's your hat. And then he goes, like, picture? And then you're like, yeah, sure, absolutely. You go take a picture for them. And I can tell the guy spoke not a lick of English.
No, not at all. He had a friend who was like slightly translating.
What do you say to you? He's like, oh, super hacker.
Yeah, he's just like, Daru, yeah, super hacker. And I'm like, yeah, super hacker.
And the thing is like,
arigato. And I'm like, sugoi. And I'm just like, arigato, super hacker. Bye-bye.
You're very convincing, super hacker because you're the right size, you're the right height.
Dude, I kind of got all that shit down.
Yeah, so I think it was a good call.
Anyways, if you guys want to see some sexy nude fan art of me, go on to NSFW Cosplay Girls. I'm going to be there all night on Reddit. Okay, well, go fuck yourself, Kyle. Deviant cosplayers my ass. So anyways, yeah, that was a fun little tidbit about the day. But in the morning I went to the exhibit hall and I fucking dug my heels in deep and I went and I got as much garbage as I fucking could. Well, you had a little nap time today.
Yeah, I slept in because I was really tired from, just the days and specifically medieval times.
Today was a big day.
So why don't you quickly say what we bought and then we'll introduce our special guest.
Sure. So this morning I went ahead and I bought super fun stuff. I was looking for a Bakugo figure. Couldn't find one for a decent price, so I'm just going to buy one online.
Oh, what a fucking loser.
But I did find this pretty rad Homura figure from Madoka Magica. She's got like a golf club. It's when she hasn't quite learned how to be a magical witch yet.
Yeah.
Magical girl, my bad. She's not a witch, I promise. It's if she's a witch in that, then she's super bad. And then I bought the Saitama figure that I'd been looking at from One Punch Man.
It's one that hits the ground, right?
Yeah, he's punched the ground. It's
really
all
like
exploding, and there's some rocks in his cape, and it just looks like really like the action is going on right there. So that's always cool.
Right in your face.
I also bought what's his fucking face? Gintom.
Yeah, Genos.
Thank you very much. I'm like, fucking Genos. Yeah, so I bought a Genos figure where he's about to like super blast.
Yeah, super cool figure.
Yeah, it looks pretty rad. So I'm down with both of those. And then later in the day, I was peeping around with Kyle and we found some Monster Hunter figures. We couldn't find any for like a good ass price, but we found a couple. Got Zora Magdaros, which is like the main one that you're supposed to be going after in the story of Monster Hunter World.
Okay.
It's the size of like a fucking island.
Nice.
And then I got Paolumu, which is this rat bat puffy ass piece of shit. I actually like it a lot. Kyle fucking hates it, but whatever. Kyle got the dumbass bird, the Kuliaku.
What a smug
he
face.
fucking runs around with a dumb rock and like smashes and shit. And then Kyle also got the Diablos, which is one of the most it's the biggest like learning curve enemy, I think, in Monster Hunter World.
Is that the one that rolls around and spits like poops out like little fire things at you?
No.
What's that one? I really hate that one. It's got a hard shell. It does like it looks like a Beyblade, but like forward.
Yeah, that's the Aragon.
I hate seeing that.
I fucking hate that.
I never seen anybody play.
Yeah, Jay Leno with the giant chin. Yeah, that's fucking good. That's a good ass name.
Whenever I see him being played against, it frustrates me. Like, man, fuck that game.
It's just like, yeah, you're just rolling around for like hours. No, Diablos is this like thing that digs underground and like charges at you. Okay. So you have to use things that like make a lot of sound so it could come out because it doesn't have like good sight. It's underground, so it's
like
just
a mole.
Like sensing you. Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
And it's fucking enormous, and it just like screams and runs all over the place and smacks you all around. So that's super intense. And Kyle got that figure, and I'm a little bit jealous, but I'm not too jealous. So it's all good. It all works out in the end. And then I bought a bunch of manga. The Slime Girl manga. I bought So I'm a Spider, so what?
Yeah. And that just
which is an anime coming out soon.
When I saw that, I was like, oh man, that reminds me of Lucas the Spider. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. He's just a spider. Get fucking over it or whatever.
Yeah. But the real reason that I bought that one is because I saw this art on the wall. I don't know if it was like promotional art for the TV show or what, but I was like, oh yeah, that looks fucking cool. I'm about to buy that shit right now. So I bought that. And then I've been into it since the promotional video came out a little while ago. I bought a couple of issues, the first 2 books of The Promised Neverland,
which is an anime that's coming out, and I'm pretty excited to watch.
Oh yeah, I also bought some Sweetness and Lightning, so that was pretty rad. I was trying to find Goblin Slayer, I couldn't find that. That's an anime coming out soon that I'm excited about, and then I still don't know if I want to or not. But I almost bought Gun Gale Online Alternative.
The light novel?
Yeah.
I don't know about those sort of online things or whatever. Just because I feel like the light novels are just like, meh. I'd rather just see the anime.
See, yeah, that's what I don't know. That's why I kind of didn't do it. So
for sure, cool. Well, I haven't spent too much time in the exhibition hall or whatever.
Yeah.
I did buy a shirt. I bought a cool Mob Psycho 100 shirt that I really like.
Oh, that reminds me. I also bought a shirt. Yeah.
Oh, what's your shirt?
Your shirt's so fucking cool, though.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. It's probably one of my favorite Mob Psycho shirts.
Psychedelic, but like also simple. It's pretty nice.
What's your shirt?
I bought a Mega 64 shirt.
Oh yeah.
It's like a vaporwave San Diego vibe thing going on.
Yeah.
They're from San Diego, so it looks really fucking clean.
Yeah. I also just right now actually I bought a. We were coming back from dinner and I wandered into the store and I bought a Kawhi Drake shirt that I wanted from last year because they didn't have it my size, so I bought that. I really wish I would have more time. You know what? Tomorrow I might just dedicate myself to just buying the stuff I want to buy.
Hey man, there's not a whole lot of stuff going on tomorrow. There's just one thing that I really want to do.
Cool. I might send someone with you, or you might just go by yourself.
Cool.
But figures that I'm trying to convince myself not to buy that I might buy are the Luffy figure where he's punching really hard the ground that Kyle fucking said Sierra and I undersold to him.
You fucking did.
It's bullshit. We very clearly explained that Luffy is punching the ground. He's just off the fucking ground. He's just floating like 9-10 inches, a foot off the ground or whatever. No, it's not a foot. It's like 10 inches, 9 inches. And Kyle's like, yeah, you guys totally undersold. Man, fuck Kyle. Tired of that guy.
No, I agree. You didn't undersell it.
That was it's a pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
It's pretty dumb looking. Yeah,
because you expected to be like, I don't know, more to like to scale or something.
No. It's like shrunk down.
It's insane. Yeah, he's a tiny ass piece of shit, and his arms going like
super long,
like 50 times his. No, it's not like 50, but it's like 20 times maybe his body, his height. Yeah,
it's really cool. I think it's really one of the most interesting figures I've seen in a long time.
It's pretty fucking cool.
I like that one a lot. And then obviously I'm gonna keep looking out for anything My Hero Academia. Fucking not that. They only have 2 figures, and I want either of them. Full Metal. Ultimate Muscle. That's what I'm trying to say.
Ultimate Muscle. Good job.
But also, I don't know if you guys seen it, if it's out there. What's the name of the chick that teases that boy? We just talked about it,
Yeah. No, I don't know her name.
Remember you showed me
Drozu Sensei.
You showed me there's like a figure of her just sitting at a desk.
Yeah.
If I can find that, I'd buy that.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. There's also
I'll buy it later.
Nanachi figure that cool. Somebody bought that I wasn't able to. So, whatever.
Anyways, so
that's Made in Abyss, by the way.
Yeah, I know what Made in Abyss is. The bunny chick.
Yeah, some other people don't know.
Cool. So
that's what I'm saying. By the way.
So So Trip and I didn't get to go to the next thing that happened.
Okay, well, correction. I got there a little bit late, but I don't feel like I missed a thing.
No, we're not talking about
regardless.
that. We're talking about something that happened before that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so Trip and I did not get to go to this at all. And the
yeah,
people who
that's
did get to
right.
go to this refused to tell us about it unless it was on the podcast. So Kyle and Sierra are going to talk about what they did at the Butler Cafe that Trip and I could not attend. That being said, they're going to tell us what they did. They're going to tell us what their favorite part was. They're going to tell us what the worst part was. And they're going to tell us just stuff. So here's Kyle and here's Sierra talking about their experience at the Butler Cafe.
Hell yeah.
Hey guys, it's me, Kyle.
It's me, Sierra.
We're not reviewing a trash anime this time. We're reviewing a fun event that we went to.
Yeah, we were both really excited about it, but I think waiting in line, we were both hoping that it wasn't gonna be a sad event.
Whose idea was this originally? Was this was your idea, right? Or was this my idea?
I think we joked about it, and then we decided we were for sure gonna go.
So at Anime Expo, they have a maid cafe and a butler cafe, which at the time we didn't really know exactly what they would be. But they're events that you buy tickets for, and it's either, butler themed or maid themed. I was worried that the maid cafe would be sad. That was my biggest problem, because it'd be a bunch of, I mean, it's hard. It sounds awful for me, who have attended Anime Expo and watched a bajillion animes, to be like, these people are fucking weebs. A bunch of sad, socially awkward boys fawning over these poor maids. So I thought the butler thing would be a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to, hang out with some hot butlers.
Yeah, buddy.
So that's what we did. Why don't you start us off with our little adventure on how it went?
So we entered in, and then we had to wait for our butlers to come up and seat us. And I think the first thing, though, was I was really sad because they told us that we weren't allowed to take any videos or pictures because all of our memories had to stay right here in our hearts and not right here.
Right in your boobs.
And not right here on our phones and cameras.
I think they really did that so people wouldn't be embarrassed if they were a butler,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then one of their other rules is that no touching.
They won't touch us. We won't
They
touch
said
them.
maybe a hug. Maybe you'd have to ask first. And then they said not to ask them about any personal information because
they're whores.
What's your real name? Their shtick was actually that they were all robots. They were like, don't ask us any personal information because we're robots. If you ask us, we'll just shut down.
That part was a little bit weird for me.
Well, I think a thing to think about the whole.
That's what got me.
A thing to think about while we're talking about this is this was par for the course of Anime Expo. It was super awkward and corny and cheesy and
the best parts.
Yeah, but I mean it was good. We got because there's butler archetypes.
Yeah.
We got the shy nerd archetype and
the androgynous one.
The turbo androgynous type. Kaoru.
Yeah, Kaoru.
His, I'm saying in quotes, was his name.
Was it a boy though?
I'm not sure.
No, they accidentally said her. It was definitely a girl.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
When was that?
Nice.
When one of the guys came by to do their
Okay.
one of their punishments.
Yeah. She was. I think she was a Japanese girl. But yeah, she pulled off a butler well.
Yeah, she did a good job.
She did a good job. But it was really fun. They came and they sat down and they explained the rules to us and did their little nerdy, awkward stuff and jokes. And then we played games. What kind of special games?
Our other butler, Shimoya, he was the best butler.
He was the best butler. So
he was the best
They
butler.
had us play games at the table. So it wasn't just me and Sierra at a table. They seated us with this mom and her two daughters. I couldn't guess their age. I'm not good at that anymore.
They were probably 12.
Oh, I think that might be a little bit under. That might be a little bit low.
Low? Well, they looked
13,
12.
maybe.
They didn't have much in the chest, so.
I didn't notice. So
and their maturity level.
Yeah.
That's why I'm guessing 12.
So we played games there's that game where you hold your thumbs up and you go in a certain way and you make a drive sound or
vroom or skirt.
vroom and you brakes. You do that. played a game like that. You played a game where you have to make these hand gestures, kind of like
ABCD.
Yeah, and if you lost, the butlers would come up with punishments.
Spank you.
I wish.
We hoped.
No, it was more like stuff like they would just like tell you to like get up and shout to the entire room something.
Yeah, we went to the family-friendly one.
Yeah.
How many punishments do you guys get?
I got
two.
punished once.
I got 2.
Oh, you come over and spank it twice. Give me that
What was your punishment, Sierra?
So my punishment was right after we had the practice round of the broom and skirt game. Kyle fucked me over, and he fucked me over, and then I messed up and I lost the game, and so they wanted me to shout out to all of the butlers and everyone in the room. I think they mentioned something in like specific.
They told her to get up and say as loud as she can that she loves the Butler Cafe, but I
forgot about what they asked me to say, so I just did my own thing. So I just yelled out like, "Hey butlers, if you can hear me, clap once," and they all did. And then
what power?
And then I said, "And if you're a guest, clap twice," and everyone clapped twice, and then I sat down.
And to keep this into perspective, there was like 7 tables.
Yeah.
Like 7 tables, probably about
5 to 7 people
5 to 7 people each and 2 butlers per table.
So about 35 people.
Yeah.
Cool. It's like a classroom.
Yeah, it was cool. My punishments, my first one was I had to take the rose from the table and present it to one of the butlers. The hardest
I was
part.
so happy that was your punishment.
The hardest part was there's like 12 of them lined up in the back and they're like, pick one. I'm like, oh, damn. I got to pick a butler.
Pick the girl one, hopefully?
No, that was the one at my table. There's one's lined up. Of course not, Juan.
No. You had to go find a new honey.
I had to play the part. So I was like, man, I don't know if I can choose. And then one of them's like, well, let's get one for you. And they're like, hey, Akashi, I think that was his name.
Yeah.
Like, can you come here for a second? And he like walks over. And like, I just wanted to have a good time. I didn't,
Well, yeah, that was kind of the thing. We
As
had to like amplify our personalities
Oh, yeah,
a
I
little
was
bit
more
more
than
to
myself.
make it more
I was
enjoyable
as much
for
of
us
an
and
actor.
everyone else.
Yeah, I was as much of an actor as the butlers were. So he walks over and I get down on my knees and I hold the rose up. I'm like, will you please accept this? And he's like, oh, gee. Well, one knee.
One knee. He was down on one knee like he was proposing.
I was getting ready to, I'm getting ready. So I presented him the road. He's like, oh my gosh, yeah, of course. And so that was one of them. And then the other one was they handed me this candle and then I needed to bless it.
Yeah.
And so I had to make a heart symbol with my fingers, like, you know how you, and then I had to say boy Kyun. That's some anime thing, I guess.
Apparently, I don't know. I've never heard of it.
They said I had to do it
life.
as cute as possible, so I did.
Boy, Kyun.
Sure, that's
fucking nailed it.
But I did it more suave.
But then you had to
than
go
that.
like this to
I
bless
had
the
to
candle.
sparkle.
Bro, I always do that.
You had to do some spirit fingers to bless the candle after it.
But yeah, because the people at our table, the other girls, and then eventually a woman and a young man joined us. I don't know what was going on with those two, if they even arrived together or what was going on.
Well, they said that they went to the Maid Cafe like 2 years ago, so.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on. Everyone was super low key compared to us.
Yeah,
like they're all
I kind of
shy
wished we were
and
at the
whatever.
table that was like right behind me because they were like super into it.
Oh, they were throwing dabs at us and shit.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
So, well, like some of
Punishments.
the punishments is like they'd have to walk up to our table and like hit us with a dab, or like someone whipped on us really hard. And I was like, oh shit.
And then there was like one butler and this one guest. Like every time that the word butler came up, one of them had to yell cat, the other one had to yell dog. So throughout the entire event, you just kept hearing
show.
You keep hearing like cat, dog every time the word butler was mentioned.
And then
But that was also one of the highlights that later.
Yeah, we played Jenga, which me and Sarah fucking killed Jenga because they cheated.
Oh my!
They're like, there's this thing that we didn't. There's sometimes earthquakes in California
Just
right in
at
this
this
specific
table.
right at this table, and like every time you're gonna go to do pieces, they'd like shake the table. Me and Sarah never fucked up once.
But one of those little fucking girls, oh my God, I wanted to like hit her so bad
she was shaking the
she
table
thought
a
it'd
lot.
be so fun to knock it over when Kyle and I were messing around, or even when anyone else when we were trying to grab Jenga pieces. and she was like constantly shaking it.
We're so fucking good at Jenga.
Yeah, and then Kyle and I got revenge on her later.
But we actually won that event, and the butler lost, the shy nerd, and he's like, well, what should my punishment be? I was like, I want you to stand up on your chair and exclaim loudly that you're the best butler here, which he did, and all the other butlers were like, oh. But like the actual interactions themselves were really fun.
Yeah.
Before we get into the actual stage parts, why don't you talk about what happened with the stage parts?
So they opened up with a dance sequence, which I was actually surprised at how good they were at dancing.
It was pretty fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like super professional level, but they had it together.
Yeah. And like it was during the dance scenes that one of the butlers who had to yell dog every time someone said butler, like during the entire performance, people were yelling butler. So every time he'd like strike a new pose during the dance, he would just be like, dog.
It was fucking fantastic.
It was hilarious. It was like they did like, I think they did like 3 total dance routines.
Well, they had 3 stage performances. Yeah, they did 3 dance numbers, I think.
Yeah, and then they had the BB.
And then they had the band.
Yeah.
Which
the Butler Band.
I would say, I don't want to be rude, but it was the low. It was the low point. The singer just wasn't cutting loose.
No,
he seemed so reserved. What did they sing?
The first song was from an anime that I didn't even know. I had no idea, and I've never heard it before. But the second one was when so they pulled someone up on stage for it to be for someone to be sang to, and so this was
the third one.
Oh, was the third one? What
the
was the
second one was the current My Hero intro.
Oh, that's right. He did the current My Hero.
I wanted to die.
The auto-tune, yeah?
No auto-tune.
He skipped that part.
I actually made a joke that this was better than the original one. Because there's no auto-tune with this guy singing.
Yeah, no, he didn't do the auto-tune.
He just wasn't. I feel like he either he doesn't have the talent or he's afraid to cut loose. Like he wasn't belting it out at any point. And every point where you'd yell, like really let your voice go, he'd drop it really low and quiet.
Yeah. But then the third one, that one they wanted a volunteer for up on stage. And so this is when Kyle and I decided to point at the girl who was shaking the table during the Jenga game. And so they decided to choose her to go up on stage. And
not yet.
Oh.
It was the other girl at the table behind us.
The cat
Don't
girl.
worry. Yeah, cat girl went up.
Cat girl. I'm just so excited about the other bit.
I know. We'll get there.
Come on.
Fine. Anyway, so they sang to her the Darling in the Franxx theme song.
Kiss of Death.
Yeah, Kiss of Death.
Which wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
No, that one actually was probably the
did a
best
good
song
job.
out of the 3 that they performed on there.
So that was the band performance. They did those 3 songs. And then we hung out at the table a little bit more. Mm-hmm. We didn't get any food or drinks or anything. It was all really simple. Like, oh, you got like rice balls or boba tea for like $10. And we're like, no.
Yeah, we're like, well, we'll skip. But we got to see a demo of their Voltage dating sim game.
I put that VR thing on for 2 seconds. I was like, all right, fuck that. So then the final stage show was more dancing, and it was pretty good. It was good dancing. There's a few songs. But then it came to the part that you're excited about.
Yeah, where we pointed at the girl that was sitting at the table that was shaking when we were playing Jenga. And so she got up on stage, and then they sang to her.
I don't know the name of the song.
It's the one
But we
where...
could sing it.
Is it just like 1, 2, 3
Step
or something?
1.
Make your dream
Come true. 2...
Wanna be
with yeah.
And
so
like,
they sang that song to her.
all the dudes had like different personalities. Like there was like shy guy and like get all up in your face guy, and so they did that to her, and she's just like, this girl was so fucking shy. It was amazing. She's just like,
she turned beet red.
She's like imploding on herself.
But the best part was when one of the guys was like dancing around her, and he like went in and he whispered something in her ear.
She lost her shit.
Yeah, and then she like lost her shit on stage, but none of us knew what was like going on. We just only saw it. But then later when she sat down, she told her mom, who was there with her, what happened, and I overheard it. And I guess when he was dancing around her, he had like whispered in her ear, like, "Is this creepy yet?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh." It was hilarious.
And then pretty much at that point, once that was over, it was pretty much over. You could take pictures with any of the butlers that you want.
Or buy their merch.
Yeah, or buy the merch. The butlers, we got free coasters.
We got them signed.
Because I liked the 2 butlers we had.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a fun experience, but it wouldn't have been fun if we like didn't get into it.
Yeah.
It's not a naturally entertaining event. It's an event that you get into
You have to
yourself.
immerse yourself in
you
it.
kind of act as well. Like, obviously, I'm not going to walk into a room with a bunch of nicely dressed dudes and be like, "Oh my God, guys, I'm so excited." But acting that way, it was fun. I don't know. Next time we go to Anime Expo, I want to do one of the other ones. Either like the Butler 18+ one,
Yeah,
or
After Dark
or
one.
the Maid Cafe or whatever. Like, it'd be fun to do another one and see how it goes, because this
Yeah.
was fun and weird and corny and cheesy, and it was a good time.
Yeah, it was fun.
And that's all I got.
Yep.
Cool. Thank you so much, guys,
All
for
right.
reviewing the Butler Cafe at Anime Expo 2018. At Brian McKnight, Back at One, is a song that they sang.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Maybe we should go to something like that next year, eh?
I think we should. You and I said we want to go to Maid Cafe, but we were told by plenty of people that it's super sad.
Yeah.
So maybe
Well,
Butler Cafe is more speed, actually.
I think it probably would be, mostly because you can't go wrong with boys, right?
Oh, we love boys.
All right. So this morning when you were sleeping in, they did that, and then I went ahead and I tried to catch up after going to the exhibit hall with Kyle and Sierra so that we could go to the Production IG panel. And Production IG does like a whole bunch of big anime that I'm pretty excited about. And then they had like in the description like, "Oh, Production IG works on things like Castlevania and this and that and that." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck yeah, I want to see that shit. Like, get me fucking in there, daddy." So I go there and I'm ready. And a little bit late since one thing lead to another, all that shit. Well, I came in. I don't know what I had missed at this point. I guess the panel started like 30 minutes late, so I got there like just on time.
Yeah, apparently Fooly Cooley ran late because they were signing autographs, something like that.
On posters.
Yeah, on posters. And so you guys got in. By the time you got in, they just started or some shit like that.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So I got there and they were talking about, it was the cast, the English cast for Be the Beginning, talking about how dogs fart, and that's weird, and everyone's dogs fart, and they're like just laughing about that. I'm like, oh,
Cool.
neat. I was here for like announcements and trailers and stuff, but like that's cool. I didn't realize it was going to be like this. And then like almost immediately they were like, "That's not all of it. We're going to do anyways, here's some stuff. Here's some trailers." And they just showed a bunch of trailers for shit that we already know about, like Fooly Cooley. Season 3 is coming out September 7th and 28th, I guess, whatever. October 18th, Feel the Wind is coming out. That's a bicycle show,
Yeah,
I
cool.
believe. And then Psychopath, Sinners of the System comes out in January 2019. Then they showed trailers for shit that's already fucking out. Legend of the Galactic Heroes, they showed a trailer for that. Be the Beginning, they showed a trailer for that. Be the Beginning season 2, I think they might have shown like a tiny little teaser thingy. They showed a trailer for After the Rain. They showed a Pokemon trailer, which is being made by OLM, which normally does Pokemon, and Wit Studio, who does things like Attack on Titan. And it looks really good. I can't remember if they helped make I Choose You, which is the most recent like Pokemon movie. That's really
The
rad.
one that you went and saw in theaters or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's going to come out on July 13th, so in like a week here. They showed a trailer for Attack on Titan Season 3. It was a longer one. It looked fucking good. I'm super down with that. And then they finally started bringing up some normal shit. So the composer for Be the Beginning, Yoshihiro Ike, told us a thing or two about him making the music for this show. And unlike the way that they normally do music, where they write all the music for the show and then give it to the studio for them to use however they would like, he made the music for the show after it was done. So he was able to score it for each scene, similar to how movies are made. Right?
Yeah, they'll play the video and he's like, cool. And then he'll start like record over it or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then they told us what he's up to now. So he's scoring a concert for the Japanese show Partner. I think it's just a live action show that's going on in Japan. And that was all of the news. Then they showed us a 2-minute animation. It was a 4-part claymation thing that aired on Adult Swim for something called Pack Alien. It was the short. And it's about an alpaca alien. And it was fucking bad. It was bad. It was
Production
like...
IG made it, though.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a bummer.
Yeah, it was... I don't know what the fuck it was. Alien... llama man thing is standing there in the woods, and then a serial killer comes up and like knocks him out, takes him away, and then he's chained up. And
at one point, does the alpaca get really ripped?
Yeah,
you know what? I think I've seen clips of this on Adult Swim.
Yeah,
like it's like a bumper. It's like just kind of comes up.
It's a fucking weird little bump.
The only thing I can could say to maybe defend Production IG was maybe they had no. Maybe all they got was a script and said, we want to look like this, do it. And they did, you know?
Because, hey, man, I don't know what the deal was, but...
if it was, like, commissioned, like, if they paid them to do that, like, if Adult Swim's... Because Adult Swim's pretty weird, you know? They got weird bumpers.
Yeah.
So if Adult Swim's like, hey, I want you to do this weird thing, and they're like, okay, pay us and we'll do it.
But the lady kept being like, oh, this is a super funny animation short. I'm so excited for y'all to see it. And, like, you know, I don't want to just look at it. And then afterwards, she was like, oh, my gosh. So, it's
Wasn't
so
the
funny.
best thing ever,
That was... Oh, it's so funny. Anyways, I'm super excited to talk to the composer of Be the Beginning, and then like literally nothing happened the whole fucking panel. It was the most pointless shit. I was really frustrated mostly because like I don't know if it was due to time constraints, why like nothing was happening, or if they just planned weird, but it really felt like just an advertisement for Production IG instead of like anything exciting. They didn't get any cool details about their productions. They didn't do anything like behind the scenes. They didn't give us any teasers for what's to come. It was just like, hey, here's a composer and he's gonna say like literally one thing. I don't know, man. It was fucking weird.
Cool. Well, that sucks. Production IG usually does a great job. So
yeah.
Okay, so I got to go into the A1 Pictures industry panel, right?
Yeah.
Right off the top, I want to say that I'm really disappointed with. I don't know who to be disappointed with. I don't know if I should be disappointed with A1 Pictures or disappointed with the people who decided where the fucking thing was being held. But I feel like A1 Pictures, being such a popular studio, should have gotten a bigger venue. And they were in, I think it's room 411 in the I don't know, the West, whatever.
It was in the live
video 4.
Yeah.
Which is a tiny theater. Like I've had college classrooms bigger than this. Okay.
Yeah. Definitely.
And that's where Anime by the Numbers was held. And I got like in the normal line. And when I got in the normal line, I was the first. I was like, you know what? And I got in there. I was like thinking about how popular A1 Pictures was. You know, they made plenty of good shit. They just made Darling in the Bronx with Trigger or whatever.
Yeah, blowing up right now.
I was like, you know what? I should probably get there early. And by the time I was there early, which was like an hour and a half, almost 2. There was already unofficial lines just everywhere. So there was just madness ensuing, you know, because there's other things trying to go in there before, you know, A1 Pictures. You know, I eventually just, you know, grabbed my press pass and went in the premiere line or whatever.
Okay, so here's the thing. I think that they would have handled it differently if it wasn't so hot.
Yeah.
Because I've had to, last year, I had to wait for the Hot Pepper Gaming panel outside. Yeah. They had like some shade set up for you. But I had to wait outside for it. So it was just like a whole bunch of chilling, doing nothing.
Yeah, but so I get what you're saying. It was like 100 and something degrees today.
Yeah, it was fucking hot. They don't want people to like pass out and
lining
die.
Them outside and then walking them up the thing, whatever, would have been tough too. But what my argument is, regardless of how the lines was, the studio was too tiny to
I agree.
to fill the over 3,000 people that wanted to go to this. Like apparently on like the app where it says like, oh, I'm interested in this thing, over 3,000 people liked it. So like,
Wow.
so it's like, imagine,
Wow.
I was like, there's no way 3,000 people, there's maybe, I don't know, I try to guesstimate how much you could fit. I'm assuming maybe
200?
maybe 200 at the most,
Yeah.
So that's what really bummed me out right off the bat. Like just realizing, you know what, all these people lined up and a shit ton of them. Like after premiere and press, I just can't imagine there being like too many of the people in the regular line who got in, and that's a real bummer in my opinion. Like it was to the point where the doors closed. Like they let people in, and then the seats were filled, and they had to push people out. Like, sorry, I know you technically made it through the door, you got to go away. Okay, so getting that out the way, talking about A1 Pictures. The guy who was holding the thing was I forgot his name. His name's Anthony. He's the guy from Aniplex, whatever.
Yeah,
who I don't really
yeah.
like. I think it's his sense of humor that I don't like. He does a lot of like, oh, what was me? I'm depressed jokes, and I'm just like,
I mean, I get a kick out of that, but like,
not when that's his only joke.
Exactly. It's also like a totally different thing when you're in front of an audience. You have to really make it like, I'm charismatic as fuck. Also, I'm depressed. Womp womp.
Yeah,
it's a whole different thing.
I mean, good on him. I know he's a great job, and I know people really like him. I just don't think, as like a narrator or like a moderator, he's not my favorite.
Yeah, no.
So they brought out 3 people from the very beginning. They brought out Akira Shimizu, who was the operating officer for A1 Pictures.
Yeah.
Momoru Igunarishi, whatever.
Igunarishi, yeah.
Yeah, he's a producer, and Atsushi Kaneko, and who's another producer.
Atsushi Kaneko?
Yeah, Kaneko. Anyways, so the first part of it was just kind of like Q&A essentially, you know, like, hey, what are you doing? What's this? So just some questions, basic questions that were asked, like, had they been to Los Angeles before and stuff like that, you know? The person who was, the operating officer said that he, had been to Los Angeles before, but it was really hot this time, and I was like, everybody's laughing.
Experience,
And then the 2 producers were asked the same thing, and apparently it was the first time for one of them, and for the other one, it's actually his 4th time only leaving Japan. In the first 3 times he left, he went to Australia for some sort of anime thing out there.
Oh, that's really interesting.
And they all agreed that it was also very hot in Los Angeles. And I thought that was super funny. When Igunarashi was asked like what he thought, like what was a lasting impression for just like the shows that he's worked on at A1 Pictures, he said there's this baseball show that they made from the very beginning, because he's been around since the very beginning.
Yeah.
It's like an older one that he really liked, but there's also this show literally called The Space Show, and Welcome to Regeneria or something like that was made. Like he feels like those 2 shows were the reasons why A1 Pictures were created. Like just because they wanted to make these shows, he's like, that's why the studio was made. Like they made other stuff, but when those shows were made, like this, like he's like, this is why A1 Pictures has been created. They were also asked like what like were shows that were that they liked from 2014 2015, and Akira said that he felt that like Your Lie in April was a really good example of a good show, because it showed that A1 Pictures had matured, like they had really came into their own. Again, Igarashi was asked like what was his favorite thing from 16 to 17, and he surprisingly said that he really liked Uramanga Sensei, which surprised me. And maybe he worked on it, but he said that looking for there's going to be a sequel. And it's going to be an OVA or whatever, or some sort of thing. I don't know if it's like another season, but
both. There's going to be another season, and there's going to be an OVA.
And he was saying that he's like super excited to be a part of that, which you and I aren't the biggest fans of this specific show, but people lose their fucking shit over it.
Yeah, well, I don't understand it, because I think everyone that watches it knows exactly what it is.
Yeah,
they know it's like not high quality in terms of story, and it's a little bit like
it's. What's funny is that when it popped up, because they showed a video for it, and I remember seeing in the corner when it came to like what the topic was or whatever, it didn't say ecchi. Like they didn't want to brand themselves as ecchi or whatever, but they put comedy there, and then instead of ecchi I think they put moe, which means cute, right?
Yeah.
And I was just like. And the guy Anthony did for a second call, because the fuckers they all
They just say what they should say, and they don't have like a specific script, but they have like, we're going to hit these points, and we're going to make sure to say these things.
And obviously, this is one of the panels where the Japanese translator, I feel like he was translating for all three of them, and he didn't sit next to them, so he wasn't able to say what Anthony was telling them or whatever. So Anthony kind of low-key said something like, yeah, we all know what this show is really about, which I feel like was honest. You know, like, it's like, we know why you like this. It's because it's that weird, I want to fuck my brother or sister thing that they got over there, the incestual taboo or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
But anyways, I thought that's one props to Anthony they can give him. He was honest about that.
That's cool. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no, and I wrote it. I was like, look, man, like, I'm glad that he was honest and wasn't trying to bullshit me and be like, yeah, man, it's super wholesome and it's moe as fuck. Like, don't call it that. You know what it is.
Don't you dare.
Yeah. Okay, so 2018, they had like 3 huge projects, apparently. 7 Deadly Sins, right? There's that otaku show where the otaku, it's hard to find love for an otaku or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, it's like Watakoi or whatever.
And this last one was like, it's called like The Great War or something. It's the one that I personally didn't like. It was something about like it starts off and there's having a wedding and the wedding gets interrupted by
Grand Crest.
That's the one, yeah. And people lost their shit over there. I wasn't a huge fan of it.
Yeah.
And while and here's a cool thing though. So these 3 works essentially were the reasons that the new production within A1 was created, which is called Cloverworks. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
I have heard of Cloverworks.
Yeah. So the way they described it is like they said Cloverworks is within A1. It's a brand within A1 because A1 got so big that they wanted to like be able to branch out and make like other things. Like A1 was so massive. They're like, okay, let's make something inside A1, and that way we can make these other things that people won't be like, oh, that's just an A1 thing. They're like, that's Cloverworks.
I heard about that when it first happened, and it's kind of cool to hear like the actual reason from them.
Yeah, no, I thought it was interesting. So then they brought out a special guest. They brought out Masashi Ishihama, I think that's what they say, and he was the director for Persona 5.
Oh, that's cool.
It's cool because they showed us like a sizzle reel of all the stuff he's made and like what he's done. So he's been a director, a character designer, like a legit, just like straight up animator, you know. So one that I wrote down that I didn't know was him that I for sure want to finish watching is From the New World.
Oh yeah.
You know, with the kids with the tops or whatever.
Definitely.
So he also directed the ending, like the outro to Erased, which I super like, you know, because a great intro, awesome outro in my opinion. Also, he asked if there's any fond memories just like throughout his like career in animation or whatever, or like being a part of anime. And he said that episode, like, it's super specific. He said episode 5 of like Your Lie in April. He said was the first time that he actually got to be doing the technical directing and the storyboarding. Like he was in charge of both of those. And so he said that just always would be like a super like memorable moment in like his career. And I was like, dude, that's super dope.
That's awesome.
To have like a specific time where you could be like, yeah, man, this is like my favorite time I ever had in like what I was doing or whatever. He asked him how he got the gig for Persona 5 because Persona 5 is huge, you know?
Yeah.
And he was saying that like he was really like modest about it. He was saying, well, A1 Pictures acquired the rights to it, like to do the Persona 5 animation, and he didn't have he wasn't working on anything at the time, so he was available, so they just kind of picked him or whatever. And so then Akira, who's the guy who's in charge, essentially he says, oh, he's being modest. He's being way too humble. He said that him and one other specific guy, I didn't catch his name, legitimately, like, they said, we have to have him do it. Like, he's gonna be the one to do this. And it's super cool to be like, have other people like praise your work to the point where like, no, man, like we legit need you to do this. You're the only one that can do this in our opinion.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, the Persona 5 animation
looks clean as fuck.
It's gorgeous as shit. And it reminds me of like his sizzle reel, like seeing all the things he's made. Like it makes sense that he would be doing this.
Yeah.
It's just I can't appreciate it because I'm not a fan of the gaming franchise or whatever.
I just couldn't get into it. I'm kind of bummed about that. But it looks fucking great.
I think Kyle wants to say something.
I really like the game, and
I really like that game, and I can't stand the show.
That's what he said. Okay, cool.
Because the show is
so much like the game. It doesn't have its own identity.
Well, this next part's going to contradict you because check it out. So they asked, the director, what was the trouble with a problem with like the animation or whatever. He said, trying to stay true to the original game as possible, like keeping the details, like picking what details to keep in and what keep out, but it's having its own identity also. So I don't know, man. You want to go to A1 Pictures and tell that guy he's wrong? You can fucking go ahead. That's rude.
Kyle's a rude dude.
Why don't you start your own podcast, Kyle?
Do you want to start a podcast one?
I'd love to start a podcast with Kyle. Okay, so Next up, which is pretty cool, they finished it out with the what's new and next for A1 Pictures and Cloverworks, right?
Give it to me.
Season 2 of Ace Attorney. They dropped the trailer on us. This trailer I wasn't the biggest fan of just because there was no subtitles, so it was just got
Yeah, that's always harder, but
but it looked really cool. People seem to really enjoy it. There will also be they announced there will also be a simulcast for it, and it's also based off original story and not based off one of the games.
neat.
Cool. And they also announced the final Fairy Tale season in October 2018. I think that's when it's going to air in Japan. I don't know when it's going to get a simulcast here.
It's ending?
Or if it's going to get, it's finally going to be done.
What the fuck?
Maybe we won't even get simulcast because if what's it called? If Netflix is the one that has those rights, it might get it, make it after all that shit. Cool. So August 18th, Seven Deadly Sins, Prisoner of the Sky, which, I can't tell if this was a movie or a season or
That's
something.
what I was just going to ask.
Looks like it's a movie.
Okay.
But yeah, that looks pretty cool. I don't know. I don't remember if it was just here or there. It might just be there. Last one was the new SAO season. I think it's called Alicization.
Yeah.
It's a new season, right? We got to see a little bit of the trailer. This one had subtitles, which I appreciated. There's also one new girl, but one new boy also.
Ooh, we got boys.
And Kirito's back, so I mean, I like Kirito. Don't get me wrong, I do. Come on, I do like Kirito. It just became too much Kirito after this, that second arc or whatever.
Yeah,
and
then it was just like, we're all jerking off Kirito. It's like, yeah, I kind of want to see Asuna do some cool stuff, and then we're like, don't worry, you can see Asuna.
They did eventually.
Yeah, after, and it's like, yeah, but I already gave up because you just made everyone start trying to suck Kirito's dick for like 4 hours.
That being said, I'm actually looking forward to this because Sword Art Online, the first arc, I was a huge fan of, so I have hopes for this, and that's supposed to be coming. That's supposed to be airing in October 2018 in Japan. So we don't have a date for that over here yet, but they'll keep us posted.
Right on.
All right, let's finish this bitch up because we got one more thing that we were able to go to today, right?
Yeah, thank God we got to go to Pony Canyon. I was really excited about this. They were able to have some great people involved. The chick who was doing all the moderating for it is just the most charismatic person. She was there for Liz and the Bluebird premiere, and she was there for this, and I think she just won everyone over immediately.
Yeah, she like straight up. She's from Japan, right?
Yeah,
but she speaks English and doesn't have a translator, and her English is for sure passable.
I mean, she has incorrect grammar from time to time, but she's like still very, very clear and a lot of fun and so sweet.
Yeah, so I was like looking over you guys, I'm like, dude, I just want to take her home. She's so sweet.
She's great.
I just want to keep her.
She's like, okay, thank you.
Yeah,
she's like, yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, so we were both there for this. You took notes. I did not because I was tired. But
I took some notes.
But we'll talk about what happened.
So Pony Canyon has been around for a little bit, but Pony Canyon USA was established 4 years ago, and that was the first time they actually came to Anime Expo. They started out kind of small, but now they're at the point where they're recognized, so they're pretty big.
Yeah,
people
they
are
do
able
a
to
lot of things, which surprised me.
Yeah, man, they do, and I'm pretty stoked about that too. So they showed us a trailer for Liz and the Bluebird, Kaze-san, and Morning Glories, and Kengan Ashura. Liz and the Bluebird we talked about already. Kaze-san and Morning Glories we're going to talk about tomorrow. I'm going to see that movie, or not tomorrow, but I'm going to see it tomorrow, and then we'll have
talk
it
about
posted
it later,
on our next podcast. And Kengan Ashura is first off, Kaze-san Morning Glories, it's like a relationship romantic movie starring two girls
in high school. Yeah,
two high school lesbian girls. So that's pretty cool. A big thing for Japan to really dive into the intimacy of a relationship like that in high school. And then Kengan Ashura is the anime based off of the idea that you and your buddy had a while ago.
Was that the one? Yeah, where they're fighters essentially, right? And it's going to be dropping on Netflix or something like that.
Yeah. So they're businesses and they have fighters that do like gladiator stuff for them.
She super cutely explained it to us, and then she asked, because it premiered today, right? Like the work.
Yeah, the first episode. Yeah,
she asked like, did anybody see it? And then she kept pointing at this one guy like, yo, you saw it, you know what I'm talking about, and being like, hey guys, just fucking ask that guy when you're done with the show. And being like, this guy was like a really good sport about it. It looks like some sort of fighting anime, and I don't know if I'm convinced. It looks like it's 3D, and it doesn't look too. It reminds me of like not what's it, the Fist of the Blue Sky or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's a little bit different, I think, because I don't think Polygon Pictures works on this, but they did work on Fist of the Blue Sky, which is
A prequel, yeah.
Yeah, that whole thing. Anyways, the producer of Liz and the Bluebird, Nakamura, was there, as well as the producer for Kengan Ashura, named Oshima, and Tetsuya was the director. Essentially, I don't know. My notes are all fucked up. He wasn't there. There was a video that was there
he talked
for
about
the director.
Yeah.
The producer was there.
All the producers. Three producers were there, yeah.
So the fighting scenes are in 3D for this battle show, but they wanted to make the animation feel like different and unique for it. So I guess there's like going to be weird animation throughout it, which I think could be cool. So we'll check it out. The same dude, I believe, worked on Attack on Titan. So maybe he's got some clean animation in there. I don't know, but the scenes that they showed us did not convince me. We'll find out. So anyways, Kaze-san and Morning Glory's producer Terada was also there. They didn't really have too much to say, but I'll go into more later. They showed us a little bit more, talked about Cutie Honey Universe, and Yuki Yuna is a hero. Season 2 is on Amazon. Caligula is on Crunchyroll. Fist of the Blue Sky is also on Crunchyroll. Just talking about like stuff that's around, you know. And then they started showing off some new shows. So they showed us teasers for stuff, which I'm excited for at least one of them.
Yeah.
So Kyoto Animation is making Tsurune, which is a Japanese archery show about these 5 boys that are in an archery club. And this specific kind of archery is called Kyudo. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah,
I mean,
me too.
In archery anime, it sounds fucking neat.
It's boys. I'm all about it.
So October, it's going to be broadcast in Japan. No news yet for a simulcast or anything like that.
None of these actually have any, like, when we get them. It was all when they get them. So, but
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get a simulcast eventually.
Right. And next up, they showed us a trailer for Release the Spice. And Spice is spelt with a Y instead of an I. And it's like...
It's like, can I say it? Can I do this one?
Yeah.
So it's about a group of girls who, when they smell spices,
No.
turn into ninjas.
Nope.
That's what she said.
No, you listened to her wrong.
That's what she fucking said.
Okay, so no, they're in Japan. Whenever you smell like spices around, but you don't know where it's at, that means a ninja's nearby.
Sierra, look at me. Didn't she say they smell spices and they turn into ninjas? That's what she fucking said, Trip.
These girls turn into ninjas
When they smell spices.
and it's a pun
No,
based on the Japanese thing.
I get the pun. I understand. It's, spice or whatever. Like, and there's a Y in there because it's fucking ninjas or whatever. I understand it. But she legitimately said, these girls smell spices, turn into ninjas. This show looks like shit. I'll tell you that right now. And it's gonna be trash right now. But that's what she said. You can say whatever you want, but those are the fucking words that left her mouth. And she looked at the guy next to her and he goes like, that's right. She's not lying. She looked at the producer, Trip. What do you have to say? Sierra's nodding her because it's right.
Because she very specifically said, in Japan, when you smell spices, it means ninjas are around.
That's fine. When we watch this fucking show and they turn into ninjas
That's
because they smell
fine.
spices, that's fine.
I'm cool with that. But that's what she said, man.
That's not what she said.
I'm not coming off of my notes for that, because in my notes, it's a little bit different.
Because you said it, you spelled it wrong. That's fine. Just keep going.
And it's when you smell curry, there's an ninja nearby. That's specifically what she
That's
said.
not what she
I have
said.
that as a quote.
You said when you smell a spice. It's fine. Just keep going.
When you smell spice like curry.
Example. She said when they smell spice, they'll just fucking go. I'm
Said
tired
when
of this.
you.
She just fucking go, Trip.
I'm so fucking... I don't know why you do this one.
It's what she said. Why are you mad at me? Just because you wrote it down wrong? Sierra was right there. No, he's not giving me the look.
Do you want me to give you the
just
look?
fucking do the
All right,
thing.
cool. So anyways, yeah, they're high school girls. They protect the town. It's going to air in Japan in October. No news on a simulcast.
Yeah.
And then Hinamaru Zumo. It's a sumo show. It's been like in Shonen Jump for a while. It's a series that's been ongoing. It's just a bunch of little high school boys that do sumo wrestling.
Yeah.
It's airing in October in Japan.
That one actually
only.
had like no actual animation to it. It was
Yeah, it was just
legitimately
weird.
like humans, like live action sumoing and like words that popped up, and then like there's a key visual, and that was it. And I just imagine it being. I'm gonna watch it, but I just imagine it being like he's a little guy and he fights other guys and
Yeah.
he finds out how to beat them.
Yeah, I have no interest in this.
Yeah, no, it
At
looks
all.
it looks really what's the word? Like just really cookie cutter, really basic.
Yeah, it looks basic as fuck. Just a basic ass shonen.
You know, I felt like okay, so they make good things. Like they
Yeah.
don't they actually they don't make anything. They distribute it, right? That's what they're
Yeah, they're producers, yeah.
which is fine. Because like they got people like Kyoto Animation working for them, right?
Right.
And they also got people like Gonzo working for them. You know, so it's like there's a huge variety of stuff. But one thing that I feel like came off from Pony, it's super nice because we played Rock Racers with them. It came off.
Yeah.
Their vibes came off really like desperate almost. It made me feel like they like, please buy our tickets, please do this. You got to promote this. You got to watch in theaters. I'm like, yeah, it's fine, I get it, but because like they're so new, they just need all the support they can get.
Yeah.
And it almost like just because like we were saying, there's 3 new shows. I want to watch one of them for sure,
Yeah, yeah.
but I don't want to watch the other 2. Like it's almost like they're just trying to make anything and see what sticks. And
You know, it's weird too because we've talked a lot about the money that anime makes in Japan and how fucking difficult it is for them to make any profit off of different shows. Yeah, I mean, I understand their desperation, but it's hard when they make so many different things.
yeah, no, they make so many new animes. Like you know, there's going to be stinkers here and there, but like I was saying, I don't know. I have nothing against Pony Canyon because they do things that look cool and they do produce things that look cool. But like some of this stuff, I was like, oh, man, I'm not feeling any of this stuff. And I felt like the room felt it too. Like there was times where like we're waiting for just the cue to clap or whatever.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel very genuine about it. Like they would say other shows to be like, you know, the producer, they produced Steins Gate. Or they you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like huge bunch of name dropping. Like it's just like they worked on Erase. They worked on what's the one? The movie is like, you know, you guys ever heard of a little movie called A Silent Voice before? It's just like,
Yeah.
but this isn't a silent voice. You got the guy that did this for a silent voice. Doesn't mean it's gonna be as good as a silent voice.
It's not as good, but it's very similar in a lot of ways in terms of how much it focuses on characters and like different emotions that I think other films have explored.
It's like the guys that did the fireworks. Like, hey, it's the new your name. I was like, don't say that. That's weird. Just be your own thing.
Up. Yeah,
Anyways, that was day 3
and 2.
and 2, day 2 and then 3. So that's it. And then tomorrow there's one more day. It's going to be a shorter day because we have to leave for the airport. And yeah, and our 100th episode's coming up pretty soon. So that'll be the next one right after this, which will be a wrap up episode. It's not going to be this one. This is episode 99 and day 3 or
Yeah, I
whatever.
mean, technically we already passed our
passed
100th
100
episode a while ago. Don't worry about it.
A shit time ago,
Just
yeah.
don't fucking worry about it, man.
The next episode after this week, when we do our wrap up, will be our 100th episode, which is
Yep.
cool.
And it's going to be live streamed 100 feet in the air. We decided that we're going to be in a helicopter.
I thought we were going to be 100 feet underwater.
Okay, well, I'm going to be in the air.
I'll be underwater.
You'll be underwater, and we'll make it work.
Okay, well, if you're 100 feet in the air, I'm 100 feet in the water. Isn't that 200 feet apart?
Yeah, and then we'll meet in the middle at the end, and our bodies will collide, and it'll be our last episode ever.
I think it should be you 50, me 50, and then we just like that way it's like accumulated of 100.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but like,
You really dead set on being 100 in the air.
yeah.
I guess this is where you and I just part ways. We just can't do it anymore.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening to our second to last episode of the Ends Are On podcast. We'll cover the last episode of the fucking convention and kill ourselves or
we
whatever.
won't technically ever make it to episode 100.
Yeah.
So we'll fucking do day 4. We'll post it. We'll record it later. Hopefully we don't get sucked out the airplane. Yeah,
I'll suck off the airplane. All right.
that's not what I said. Anyways,
Hey, let's do this stuff.
this is bye from Juan.
Whoa, hang on.
That's how we finished it last time. We didn't do all the other stuff.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, we just finished it.
God, I feel so bad. Hey, thanks everyone for listening.
Yeah, this is bye from Juan.
I'll see you from
Hey,
Chris.
Trip, don't forget.
Just add hot water.
Yeah.